right, y'all. We are back. Who did I miss besides the gynecologist? The stepmom that don't recall anything. The stepmom I have found out is equivalent to JoJo the Tired Man off of the first Bad Boys. He don't know a lot about a lot. He don't know a little bit about a little bit. Okay. He's JoJo the Tired Man. The one that was pissing Mike Lowry off. Okay. And then the paramedic was before her, and the paramedic don't remember who took a pulse, but all she remember is that Blaise was scary and he doesn't take heed to commands because he was supposed to stay out of their workspace, and he picked up Jade and took her from the bedroom to the kitchen so they can help to get her onto the stretcher and get her out of there, because they were standing there waiting because they felt like they could not pick Jade up. So apparently he's scary and in the way and doesn't listen to commands because they don't ask third parties to help them, but neither one of them can get Jade up. She also confirmed that Jade did not receive any type of CPR while she was in that condition in the house. They did not start CPR until she was in the ambulance. So whether that confirms that she was already gone, like the state said, or whether that confirms, like the defense's opening said, that she was alive because they didn't give her any CPR, we're going to have to wait for the evidence. But that did get confirmed. What else was it? But so far, that's all we've got. Things that strike me as odd. Where's the other paramedic? Where's the other paramedic? Can somebody tell us whether, like, if that particular paramedic did not take the pulse, where's the one that did, so we can confirm whether or not she was alive or gone when they took her out that house? So we didn't get that. Also, who else was it? It was somebody else. It was somebody else that had me feeling some type of way. Oh no, that was it. With the stepmom seemed to have a lot of conversations she can't tell us anything about except that they was talking. The stepmom cannot recall a thing. She can only recall that she was with somebody and talking. But what was said, the context of the conversation, what the conversation was about, or who all may have been there, she can't even remember who was in the room when she stepped in the room and saw Jade. She said that she was told that the situation was tense, and when she went in there, that she saw Blaise and Najee. But when asked who was in the room, she don't know. What? We also heard of what was in some text messages, and I think these text messages the state is going to have to do their damnedest to combat those text messages, because otherwise they're going to allow the victim to be judged. Not saying it ain't nothing in there that might be judged. I'm just saying they're going to have to keep control over those text messages. Otherwise, their text messages are going to allow a very human part of this jury not to see that woman as a victim, and that woman is no longer here. Now, who did it to her, I don't know. We're going to keep listening to evidence. But it's starting to feel like I got some questions for some folk, you know? Najee got to come to the front. Keontae got to come to the front. Apple Denny's, I need to know if she's really connected to other folks from Arkansas, and therefore her vendetta against him or to get him, or her list to put him in jail by some point is as strong as they say it is. Because they say hell hath no fury, okay? And if you are an ex-girlfriend who still purports that this is the best thing that ever happened to you, he's the best man ever, however, and then you also have in the back of your mind that y'all, that you took something to self-delete your pregnancy, and then he turns around and somebody else has a pregnancy that is not deleted, I can't say she would be in her right mind, possibly. Especially if she's doing things like going to social media platforms, trying to figure out who he's dating and why, where he is, or promising to put him in jail. That's another kind of hurt. That's another kind of hurt. And that's also something you can't trust, possibly, too. So, oh, I was getting ready to tell Tiffany, y'all. So, y'all see this little can of Pepsi, right? So, I bought these for the hotel for over the weekend. So, I still have some left. But on the way to the hotel, I had taken a couple with me. So, I had taken one or two with me. So we were going, because we hadn't decided if we were going to like place an Instacart order or if we were going to actually just run to a store. So the next day we were eating lunch and Denver asked for some Pepsi. So I was like, you're not getting my Pepsi. And I said, well, you know what? Get him one of those other cans. So Big Unc handed one of these to Denver. Denver looked at me. He said, no, it's a small. I said, it's Pepsi. He said, no. So I looked down and Big Unc was laughing. I looked over, went to reach over because I'm eating my Cheesecake Factory. I reached over to grab my Pepsi and I had the small. And he was sitting at the table with the regular. It's the same thing. It's a small. He said, so he won't drink. I said, you don't need no more than that. You don't need that. He felt like we were trying to, jip him, I guess. He is a mess. Not to be slighted. So he said, don't give me no small one. Listen, he said, this not for the right things. Where this come from? A mess. I don't know how to feel about this. I was a little scared of her, of Miss Hollins, with the Quinones Hollins. I was scared a little bit of her back and forth with the judge, but it seems like she don't care if you give her a fast no, because what you don't know is that it's really a slow yes for her, and she gonna get it in anyway. And she did. Without there being any more objections, they couldn't even find another objection to give it. So she might be a force, and I think she's gonna have to get to the bottom of where's her parents. That's another one, Chaz. Where is her parents? Because how did stepmom get there and then the parents are on the phone? Where was that? Where was that? The other question that I have about the parents is of what love probably used to be, honey. The other question was, they said Blaise ended up leaving, but not until her mom got there. But Blaise seemed to still be there when stepmom was there. So did Blaise not leave until bio mom got there? That's one of my questions, and here's why. If you were not aware of what was going on in your stepdaughter's life or who she was dating or what have you, why not? If y'all were so close and y'all talk so often, you don't know anything about this guy until, he reached back out. So when did he stop reaching out? Like, so you know a little bit more than what you're putting on, and probably the taste in your mouth about Blaise is already bad. So you didn't want to hear anything he had to say when you walked into that room. You only wanted to hear from the best friend because you already had bad news bears about Blaise, right? On the flip side, Blaise didn't say anything to your ass either. Now, it could be that nobody knows Blaise. They were casually just linking up. So maybe you don't know, or he doesn't know you. But if he knows enough to not leave Jade with you, but left Jade with her bio mom, that means Jade then told Blaise some shit about your ass. And he didn't have shit to say to you. I need to know. They didn't hurry up and get the witnesses that we need on the stand. I need to talk to Najee. I need to hear from Keontae ass. I need a good cross on Keontae. I need Lauren, Natalie, whoever else went up in that apartment with them gloves on. Because how is it that you don't remember certain things, but you can remember that there's a candle possibly burning while your best friend is on tube?
Came up during Ms. Holland's cross-examination of Dr. Mullally. She specifically asked her about a text message that Jade might have sent to Najee Jackson about doing Adderall and alcohol. The text message that she's referring to is not a text message that Jade Benning sent. It is a text message that Najee Jackson sent Jade Benning in November of 2022. The state's position is it is not in any way relevant to Ms. Jackson's credibility as a witness or her ability to remember the events of February 25th of 2023.
I haven't gotten anything to Ms. Jackson yet. But...
Yes, but the state is asking that the defense not be allowed to ask witnesses about messages unless they have shown them to the state. She misstated the message and who the sender was, and that was inappropriate and wrong, and we would ask that she provide us with a copy of anything she's asking for.
May I respond?
Do you think the message that you quoted the doctor is from Ms. Benning?
I am looking at the...
It's just a yes or no?
Yes, I am. Yes, I do, based on the records that I have.
She thinks it's from Ms. Benning.
And that is why I'm asking the court that she be required to provide us with a copy of it so that we can determine that.
Did you already have?
I don't, I have a copy of the message.
Let me see.
Let me make sure I give you the right one. And what I was trying to tell the court was that this is the dump of Ms. Benning's phone. So I'm referencing the dump that we were provided by the state.
Still gotta know who it's coming from.
So let me find it, and then I will turn it to the court. Because what I saw on there was, it was from Ms. Benning. So if I'm wrong, it's based on the records that we received from the state. So I'll find it and I'll get it to the court.
Okay, let me see it.
Okay, let me find it.
Who's the next witness?
Counselor Jones.
Keon. Okay.
No, the state just tried to do a Johnny come lately because of the text message she asked about doing the alcohol and Adderall until it felt like her body was about to give out. They're now saying, the state is saying that they don't want the defense to be able to bring up anything referencing a text message unless they actually show the state the text message that they're talking about. But the defense is saying it's right here in the records that I have. So,
is that what you're referencing, Ms. Holland?
No, it was not about body shaking.
Now they went took lunch to go back through these text messages. Hold on. They then took lunch to go back to these text messages, and the state is saying, well, she misrepresented some facts because that message was not written by Jade. That was actually sent by Najee. And Najee said that, not Jade. And now she didn't put it in front of the jury and said to this doctor that Jade, like making it seem like Jade said she was on alcohol and Adderall until her body felt like it was going away. And she didn't say that, Najee did. So apparently whatever the state has now, the state is trying to walk up to them with this. Now she did try to make it seem like she did not have the messages, or that I don't know what it is that they have, but the defense made it real clear. back that shit up because this is the dump of her phone. So we both have these records. So it sounds like what they're doing now is she's trying to show where she thinks the text message came from, which the state is saying what they think it came from. That's not what was said. And the defense just simply said, no, that's not the right one. This is Tennessee versus Blaise Taylor
Yes, that is.
for the
That's
unaliving
on my
of
computer, so
Jade
let me
Benning
pull it up
and
on my
her
computer.
5-month-old
Well, that's the
daughter,
state's copy, just let me.
fetus,
But that's the same.
soon to be daughter.
But that's the text that you're referencing.
I don't know that that's the text.
I thought you said it just was.
The text context was, it doesn't mean that the sender and the recipient that I was looking at was, because I verified that before I went into it. So if I can pull it up on my computer, because that's, I just remembered I was looking at it from my computer.
Well, it says a phone number ending in 0608.
Pull it up, honey, because it sounds like you might have made a
I'll tell
mistake,
you,
honey.
my body is starting to feel like it's shutting down.
Yeah, it's not shaking, you said shaking.
You said it was from Miss Benning. That's what I'm trying to determine.
I'm trying to pull it up for you
Okay.
so that I can get it to you.
Gotta find it, Miss Mail.
November 2nd, 2022, 11:29:48 seconds.
Yep, I gotta get on the internet.
You gotta get on the internet. Did you find it? The internet that's slow up in the courthouse? We need to know. Tell me something, Joe.
If you look at the bottom of page 169, it has the sender's number, and then it has a message next to, the message is the next one under. Look at the bottom of the page.
Okay, I'm just trying to, I don't know, show that to the state.
If you look at the bottom of that page, the sender number is 501. The recipient is not yet. The very next message is that message that we quoted.
Her copy is the metadata.
Yeah, no, I get it. I can read all of that. On page 1969, the record 4388, it says the sender name is
You also see the.
The sender goes with this.
Ooh, ooh.
Let me ask you a
The
question.
sender says 501-541-5008.
Is there a police officer here that can tell us who's the sender and who's the receiver on that?
I absolutely can get someone here.
Okay, why don't you do that?
Yes.
So you're, Ms. Hollins, you're still thinking that this message is from Ms. Benning?
What I'm sharing is when I looked at the sender's number, it said 501. And then when it said recipient, it did not say Jade Benning. So when I saw sender 501,
Okay,
which is,
well, let me ask you, are you acknowledging you're now mistaken?
I don't know that. I can say that she's right because it does say sender's name, Nigeria, but the number was 501-541-0608.
What do you need to figure out whether you were mistaken?
Let me just speak with my staff who sent it to me.
Okay.
I think you might be wrong, man.
So what she shared with me that it was in fact from Nigeria. However, we have several other messages where she does in fact do the same drug. So we can come back.
You're jumping way ahead.
Ooh.
The question you asked the doctor,
Ooh.
is that wrong?
Let me say this.
That's just a yes or no.
Well, no, it's not, Your Honor. If I can, for the record, please allow me to say what I need to say.
Sure,
to
for the record. Go ahead.
Thank you. We were mistaken in regards to that
Does
particular.
the jury
message.
need to know that?
They can, but if they know that, then I need to be able to go into other messages that suggest the same drugs. Because I can go a day later, because one of the questions I asked.
I'm
was,
just
did
saying,
you-
the doctor's gone. I'm just saying the message you try to convey to the jury is, you want to listen to me or co-counsel?
I'm listening to you. If I can.
What did I just say?
You said, do I need to let the jury know?
No, I said the doctor's gone.
I heard that part too. But if you would remember, what I said was, if she told you she did mushrooms, would that make a difference?
Right,
I have a
that's
text.
not what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the question that you used this text message from what you said was Miss Benning, and now that's not true.
You sustained their objection to this text.
You went and
message.
asked the question a different way the second time,
And the
and
question,
they didn't object.
the question I asked was, if she told you she did mushrooms, would that make a
And
difference?
the final question we can replay it.
We can't, and I also
The final
asked,
question you asked was this same thing.
it was, but the drugs
And
are
she
still
said,
the
no,
same.
that, I didn't know that.
You know, we can clear it up and I can talk about the same drugs
I'm
and
not
different
dealing with
tests.
the others and what are the witnesses. I'm dealing with, were you wrong on who generated this?
You were wrong,
I
honey.
was, but that text did not come into evidence. The question was.
Your question included the text.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Not what was in.
It didn't include the text. You sustained it. You said if you were aware.
The
She
question
was wrong
they
in quoting the
objected
text.
to and it was sustained did not come in. Then your final question after the mushrooms and everything else was, if you knew that she was taking Adderall to the point of shutting down her body, would that been contrary to her history? She answered, yes. They didn't object. So the jury heard all
And they can bring the doctor back and say something different.
that. She's gone.
Well, she can come back. If she wants to impeach that, she can.
And you
But
said it didn't get out. Why was they impeached?
because you're saying it did. And I'm not
It
gonna.
did.
Well, then she
I'm gonna
can do
bring the
what she
jury
needs to do.
down,
Your Honor, I
tell
don't
them
wanna argue with
that-
the court.
Questions are not evidence, which I told them from the get-go,
That's right.
but that the question you asked, generated from a text from Miss Benning, was not from Miss Benning.
The question I asked had to do with the drugs Ms. Benning was doing. And there's a plethora of
You weren't
evidence.
asked about that, and I'm not getting into it.
Okay, well, that's what, if she goes
If
into
you
next
think
step,
you want to question now who you know is Miss Jackson, Then we have a jury out. Do you think it's relevant that this text comes in to impeach Ms. Jackson about her reliability?
No, I don't.
Okay, then let the jury step in.
It's on the record, and not only is it on the record, the fact of the matter is, even though this is where it comes into sustaining and overruling is some bullshit, because you can't put toothpaste back in the tube, okay? Because when a human hears, it's a text message, it's a text message, it's a text message, it's a text message, and you say sustained, text message is still in my brain. Then when you repeat all the words except text message, then it's still in my brain, whether you sustained it or not. Jury heard it. It was a misquote.
Hold him up just, I didn't know if he was in here or not. Ladies and gentlemen,
However,
this
if
piece
your
of
sustain
information.
really had the
One,
power you said
this
it
deals
had,
with Dr.
they wouldn't be thinking text.
Blaise's testimony.
Sustained, oh, once you hear it, you heard it.
On the record in regards to
All right, let the attorney step up.
Sustained does not remove it from the memory. Which also puts it at Tiff Ann's number one. Don't tell me to strike nothing because I already heard it. It don't work. This should let you know right here that the toothpaste is out of the tube. Out of the tube. Because technically, by the text message, baby, you was wrong. You was loud and wrong, and you you couldn't make that left turn, so you definitely bust 3 rights. You asked this 3 more times till you got it out the way you wanted to, and you were standing on the business of incorrect information that you quoted incorrectly. We are watching Tennessee versus Blaise Taylor, and it's been a mess from the beginning. This is going to be the first of many sidebars and the first of many tussles.
So the court reporter understands what we were talking about at the committee conference. You, Ms. Hollins, are now saying that you didn't say it was okay for the court to instruct the jury that that question coming from Ms. Benning's, a text from Ms. Benning, was wrong.
what I thought the court was.
Did you say that or not?
Judge, I cannot
But you
respond
play back the
if you cut me
video.
off every time that I'm trying to protect.
I said, I'm gonna bring the jury in and instruct them that questions aren't evidence, and that
That's
your
what you said.
question about to the
Shut up
doctor,
now. Hold on.
Layla, about Ms. Benning generating a text that she was starting to feel like her body was shutting down, did not come from Ms. Benning. You now agree to that, right?
What
You
I,
agree the text didn't come from Ms. Benning,
I do agree that protection comes.
but you're now saying you didn't say that that was okay.
No, what I thought the court was saying was that you were going to instruct the jury that what the lawyers say is not evidence. I don't have a problem with that. But if you want to comment on exact evidence, the court can't comment on evidence. The proper way for the DAs to impeach me is to bring that witness back in and then ask that particular question in regards to this exhibit. That is the proper way. Then at that time, I have a right to come back and ask about those very same drugs so that the jury doesn't believe that I'm misleading them. The way that the court wants to do it, it makes the jury believe I'm misleading them
You did,
about the drugs.
because
You're
you
right.
misunderstood
Now, wait a
the
minute.
You're right.
You did
But
come
the court
mislead.
sustained the state's
I ain't gonna say it was
Not
a
the
full
third.
inaccuracy, but it was a
That question is
mislead.
wrong. The proper thing for them to do is to bring that
But
witness
that
back.
message got to the jury. So how would I explain to the jury what question or what information we're talking about?
Your Honor, that's not for you to do. It's for the state to do.
How would I, you're saying it's okay for me to bring the jury in and instruct them that what the attorneys say is not evidence?
That's correct.
About what?
That's for the jury, for them to come back and decide. If the court comments on direct evidence, it is improper. And the court knows.
There was no evidence of your question.
Then why are we talking to the jury if there's no evidence?
Because you brought it up and misunderstood what your staff gave.
So that means that the state has a right to bring that witness back up. That is the way that that is handled. It's not for the court to then impeach me. That's not the way that
Is
that
the
goes.
doctor still around?
No, Your Honor, but she keeps talking about us impeaching her. She is
I
supposed to
don't
be
know.
ethical, follow the rules, and not
Ooh, ooh,
lie to witnesses.
Okay, so
She wasn't unethical. She was wrong about who sent it.
I was about to say, now you coming for her
Maybe
ethics
that's-
now?
I don't know.
you're right, Your Honor.
All right, let the jury step back.
Yeah, we're not saying it was deliberate, but it was inaccurate.
All right,
We
jump
have
in.
to, we have to, we have to.
Let's jump to the jury, what I was saying before this next witness will be called, is that questions asked by the attorneys, as I told you yesterday, questions, arguments are not evidence unless it's adopted by the witness, as I said yesterday. There were questions during Dr. Layla's testimony about a text generated from Ms. Benning that is now acknowledged that text was not from Ms. Benning. So just disregard that information. All right, if you'll step up, please.
Do you swear the testimony about to give to the truth? So
I do.
This is about to make a hard left. It was worded very well. Can't be mad at that wording.
Sir, could you please tell us your name and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Keontae Jones. First name Keyyaunte, last name Jones, Jones.
And
Where
how
you
long
been?
have you lived in Nashville?
About 4 years now.
Okay. So are you originally from Nashville, Tennessee?
No, sir.
Why did you come to Nashville?
Came down here for school.
And what school is that?
Meharry Medical College.
And you selling rugs?
And what medical degree are you pursuing?
Doctorate of Dental Surgery.
Where did you go to undergrad?
Grambling State University.
And when did you graduate from there?
I graduated in fall of 2021.
Okay, Tiger.
And when did you begin dental school?
How you get up in
I
this
began
mess,
dental
Keontae?
school fall of 2023.
When you came to Nashville, did you already know anyone here?
No, new person in town.
Did you live on campus or close to the Meharry campus?
Did not live on campus, but I'm in close approximation to campus, yes.
What is your current status as a student at Meharry?
I'm going into my 4th year of dental school.
And how much longer is there to go?
A few more months.
When you came to Nashville, as you told us, you didn't know anyone here. Did you meet fellow dental students and or other people here in Nashville?
Yes, sir. I met quite a few people.
And was one of those individuals Jade Jackson?
Yes, sir.
How did you come to know her?
Hanging out with different people in our class, went out a couple times, got lunch, things like that, and then we developed a friendship.
Was she also a student at Meharry
Yes, sir.
in the dental school?
Oh, y'all ain't
Yes,
no
sir.
fools.
Is she still in dental school?
Yes, sir.
Did you come to know at any time a young lady named Jade Benning?
Yes, sir.
And how did that come about?
Through being friends with Najee, just, I guess, developed like a mutual friendship in that sense.
Did you
Not
know
y'all out here
Jade
playing with the
Benning
rugs. Y'all supposed to be the
prior
dentist.
to being introduced through Jade Jackson?
Never met her a day in my life.
So did you know anything about her other than perhaps what Ms. Jackson may have told you?
Only thing I knew about her is what was provided to me through Ms. Jackson.
You recall, I'm not asking specific dates, but approximately when you would have met Ms. Benning for the first time?
If I got here in 2022, became friends with Najee approximately 4 months after I moved here in September, let's say I started to know Jade like beginning of 2023, maybe like February-ish of 2023.
And on how many occasions prior to the date we're going to talk about here in a minute, February the 25th, 2023, how many times approximately would you have seen Ms. Benning?
If y'all leave that man, I
No
know.
more than 2 or 3.
And was that ever just you and Ms. Benning?
Never.
And what sort of settings?
We would be like in a group setting. Yeah, never alone, never personal hangouts, anything of that nature.
Had you ever been to her apartment?
No, not until that day.
Until the day we're going to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Had you ever communicated with her via text, email, or?
I don't even believe I had her number. I don't think I even had her number.
Now, did you know anyone named Blaise Taylor prior to February the 25th of 2023?
No, sir.
Had you ever heard that name before?
Heard of him, but never was familiar with him. I didn't even know what he looked like.
And what was the context of knowing the name?
Simply just knew that this is who Jade was soon to be having a child with.
And again, did you receive that information straight from Ms.
Gossip.
Benning or through Ms. Jackson?
No, through
Yeah,
Ms.
gospel.
Jackson.
Let's move on to February the 25th, 2023. Do you recall the events of that day?
Yes, sir.
And prior to the evening, do you recall anything about what you were doing during the daytime?
I believe that day we had just left the library from like studying. I know, yeah, we had just left campus from studying.
And who is we?
Myself and Najee.
So y'all were fellow students
Yes, sir.
Same class,
Yes, sir.
same courses?
Everything.
Okay. So we'll pick up there. You finish studying. It's in the afternoon, is that correct?
Yeah, probably about 6 or so, maybe 5, 6.
Okay. And what were your plans for the evening, if any?
I had plans to go home and get ready to hang out with some of my friends. And then I was informed that there was an invitation to perhaps get some food at Jade's house that night.
And was that information from Ms. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Now, those days of being in college, free food, was that?
It sounded like a good idea. Yeah.
So anything out of the ordinary, was anything unusual about that, really?
No, I mean, I knew Jade was a chef, so there was nothing abnormal that she wanted to cook for her friends or anything of that nature.
Had you ever been to the restaurant where she?
I ain't gonna fly. A home cooked meal as a college student. I'm just saying.
Her cooking?
And by a chef.
Never.
So, offer was made. You say, sounds good.
Sounds great.
And what, if anything, did you do after that, as far as getting to where the food was?
I think we may have went to my house, parked my car, and then from there, Najee and myself rode in her car to Miss Benning's house.
And who drove, it being Ms. Jackson's car?
She did.
She drove?
Yes.
Anyone else with you? Just
No, just us two.
at that time, did you know where Ms. Benning lived?
No, I just heard she had just moved into a new apartment, but I was not familiar with the area or, specifics as to where it was.
Did Ms. Jackson drive you to what turned out to be Ms. Benning's apartment?
Yes.
Recall approximately what time you arrived?
Like 7:30-ish, maybe.
Go ahead and coat that stomach before you go out with your friends.
Just a routine evening so far as everything that you knew.
He just looks so
Just another
surprised.
day to me.
Any reason
Everything,
you
every question that come out of him, he looks
No.
surprised.
directions or anything?
Not at all.
When you arrived at the location, what did you do?
Get out the car, go to this address that we were sent, which obviously was Miss Benning's house. At that point, we knock at the door and we wait for a response.
And was there a response at the door?
Yes.
Well, that went on to tell us what occurred. Who, if anyone, opened the door?
Jade opened the door.
And what was her appearance or demeanor when the first time you laid eyes on her that evening?
She was in good spirits. I can't remember necessarily maybe like what she was wearing, but I'm assuming it was like loungewear. She was at her house in the comforts of her own home. So assuming loungewear, but appearance and everything, she was in good spirits. She was excited to see Najee and even myself at that time. I think we may have hugged, and she welcomed us into her home.
And, I mean, to be repetitive, but was that the first time you had ever set foot inside her apartment?
First time and only time.
From your memory, can you describe anything of what it appeared as you stepped over the threshold into her apartment?
Normal, calm evening. I remember there were, there were small conversations, obviously, maybe some catching up and things like that. But to me, everything seemed normal. There was some food that was,
It was me.
just getting done, being prepared. I know when I came in, she wasn't like still hustling around the kitchen, making anything. It was just a calm setting with a pot to the right.
Everyone the
of me
only
as I
time
walked
when he
in.
back in this house.
Ahead of me as I walk in is a living room and calm evening.
Says was there a television on, music playing, anything?
I do believe there was like music playing in the background, yes, sir.
This time we talked about 3 people being there.
Mhm.
Was there anyone else besides you, Ms. Jackson, and Ms. Benning?
Yes, it was a gentleman there, yes.
Had you ever seen that individual before in your life?
No,
Were you introduced?
I was introduced, yes.
And who was the person?
I was.
Real quick before he identified Blaise, Fran, coca ethylene is the metabolite that was in her system, and that only comes from ingesting it together. So you can't have the booger sugar at 7 and and then have a drink at 9, and that happens. You can't have the booger sugar at 7:30 and have the drink at 7. It doesn't come as a byproduct. It does not come as a metabolite unless you do it at the same exact time. And that was in her system, the coca ethylene. So it was definitely together.
Was then at that point introduced to Blaise.
Right. Did you have a last name at that time?
I can't recall. Yeah, I don't think so.
Let me just ask before we move on, is the individual that you met for the first time the evening of February the 25th, 2023, here in the courtroom?
Yes, he's here.
Could you indicate to that individual and perhaps tell us an item or two of clothing he's wearing?
I see Mr. Taylor. He's wearing a blue suit.
Could you indicate which individual?
Gentleman to the right of me.
All right, that's the record indicate he has identified Mr. Taylor. First time you've seen Mr. Taylor, you've heard his name before, correct? I'm sorry, you have to answer.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. Can you describe how he appeared in first impression of what you saw?
First impression, nothing really seemed to strike me as off-putting. Seemed like a decently put together gentleman. He was quiet for the most part. And yeah, like I said, nothing really caught me off guard about meeting Mr. Taylor for the first time.
And you, I believe, referenced some sort of small talk or getting caught up. Did you have any conversation with Mr. Taylor?
If I did, I can't remember. Probably just guy talk, how you doing, something like that. Maybe talked about sports or something of that nature, but nothing overextensive.
When you first saw Mr. Taylor, what, if anything, was he doing?
When I first saw Mr. Taylor when I came in, he was kind of, like I said, to himself, quiet. He was like shuffling some cards, playing with what I believe at the time was like some Uno cards or something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much what he was doing, to himself, quiet, maybe chimed in a few times in the conversation, but just to himself.
And he told us about cooking and there being food prepared, and was that for you to take, at least some of it?
Yes, yes.
Were there any indications of anything else that was happening in the apartment?
As far as what, can you clarify that?
Well, just have the food, did you see anything else?
It's about 4 months
that there was
left.
any
I'm here.
activity that they were going to be engaged in?
So it's not
Yeah, at that time there were like some canvases out, and when further questions were asked, it was told that they were going to be having like a paint night.
And understand, if at all, what the purpose of the painting was?
To my knowledge, these paintings were supposed to be for like the baby's room.
And was there, maybe the canvas, was there paint and other items that would go with that?
I mean, paint brushes, stencils, things of that nature. Yes, sir.
And where were they?
On the kitchen island as well with the canvases.
Did you see any, talk about there being food, any type of beverages, any drinks?
Yeah, I saw like there was some like a glass out, maybe a glass or two, and had like some juice in it or something like that. But from what I can remember, that was all that I saw as far as like beverages.
You remember anything about what color the beverage was?
Some sort of pink juice.
while you were there, did you consume any beverages?
No, I didn't drink anything.
Were you offered anything to drink?
I was. I think I might have been offered maybe some of the juice or either water, but yeah, I wasn't thirsty at the time.
Did you see any alcoholic beverage inside?
Not to my knowledge that I can recall, no.
Who says?
All right, guys. There's one thing that we normally see
At most
is that I have
30
not heard
minutes.
yet. Can anybody think of what we would normally hear in a situation like this that we have not heard yet?
Did you sit down, watch TV, or were you standing the entire time?
We were standing the entire time. Never sat down. No, sir.
And during that time, what, if anything, did you observe Mr. Taylor doing other than shuffling the cards?
Didn't necessarily observe him doing anything, like I said, peculiar. I guess there were conversations that were asked as far as to what was going to be like painted. And within those conversations, I remember Jade saying that she was going to be painting a butterfly. And Mr. Taylor, when asked that conversation, I don't want to quote anything wrong, but it was more so something like an ominous and dark image. Maybe he was going to be painting like a dark hole or something like that. I don't know.
And did the butterfly reference mean anything or have any significance to you?
It did, just for the simple fact that at that time, through knowing Jade, I knew that that was her favorite animal.
You're there, the small talk, the catching up.
I'm thinking Google searches, y'all.
Leave the apartment.
How
Yeah, we
to
leave after about,
if I mix
like I said,
black
about 30
girl
minutes.
with the
40 minutes most.
Hennessy.
We were not there for a long time.
If I-
Yes, after we had our conversation.
What
got the
if
food
you-
plated and everything, we left.
During the time that you were there, you recall whether any one of the four of you were on cell phones or doing anything like that?
No, not to my knowledge. I feel like everyone that was in the room at that time was pretty present in the moment. I don't think there were phones that were, I don't think anyone was on their phone much.
Did Ms. Jackson leave? Is there any sign to your
House long.
anything out of
Come
the
on.
apartment area?
No, not when I left, not at all.
Okay, and as far as Miss Benning, was her mood the same as when you got there?
yeah.
She was same Jade. She was happy, bubbly. She, said it was good to see us. And as we left, there was nothing that would have made me presume that, anything was wrong with her.
Were you able to visually observe that she was expecting?
I think at that time, I think she was showing a bump a little bit. I believe so.
I believe you said you already knew that anyway.
Yeah, I knew she was pregnant. Yes, sir.
Where did you and Miss Jackson go after leaving the apartment? What happened?
At that point, we go back to my house, in which, like I said, when we left the library, that's where we initially went to drop my car off. So we go back to my house, and I think she was at my house for maybe like another 40 minutes or so while we were eating, things of that nature. And then from there, after about 40 minutes to an hour, she leaves because, as I stated, I was getting ready to hang out with some friends later that evening.
Yes. So did you eat the food at your apartment? And by you, I mean you and Miss Jackson.
Yes, we ate at my apartment.
Okay. Anything unusual about the food?
No,
Was it good?
it tastes pretty good, yeah. Nothing unusual.
So does Miss Jackson then leave your presence?
Yes, sir.
What did you do after Miss Jackson left?
After she leaves, I carry on with my evening. I get dressed. After I get dressed, I go to my friend's apartment to meet them there. And that's where, yeah.
So while you're at your friend's apartment, were these also fellow students? Or?
Graduates, yeah, they were graduates.
So while you were there, does anything unusual occur?
At that point, I get a phone call, a very frantic phone call from Najee, pretty much, panicking. I can tell she's in distress. She's crying a little bit, and I'm trying to ask her what's going on. And all I can really get out of her is like, is something wrong with Jade? There's something wrong with Jade. There's something wrong with Jade.
And were you able to comprehend what was wrong, or?
At the time, no, but I think as I kind of maybe got her to calm down, or she calms herself down, she ends up telling me that like Jade.
Okay, I'll sustain it, Judge.
So she's frantic, calms down, is able to communicate with you.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what, if anything, did you do based on that
Good
communication?
question, Nikki. We don't know.
At that point, I'm on the phone, and now that things have been clarified as to what's going on, she lets me know that Jade wants.
Yeah.
His question was basically what you do next.
What do? I stay on the phone.
Okay. And who, if anyone, was on the phone?
Najee, I think I get merged with Jade.
Yes. And so it's in a three-way.
Three-way conversation.
Were you able to hear the voice of Miss Benning?
Able to hear the voice to make out what was being said? No.
And what, if anything, did you describe the voice you heard of Miss Benning's?
Soft, faint, not within the same coherence of the voice that I had previously just heard an hour ago. It was like we discussed earlier, just the fact that it seemed like she was in distress.
Can y'all hear y'all's nephews are so off mute?
How long did that three-way call last that you were on?
No more than 2 minutes. At that point, I think the call might have dropped or something of that nature.
So to say, did you hang up, or?
No, I didn't hang up. She was no longer on the phone with me after 2 minutes.
Before you said this, did you have any idea at that time what was going on?
No, I didn't have any idea as to what was going on. Just there was two people I knew in distress.
Did you call 911 or?
No.
And why not? You told them.
I really don't know what I would have been telling them to do had I called 911. I didn't really know the severity of the situation.
But she told you something was wrong with Jade.
The call drops.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what the fuck you tell them.
You must actually are at separate locations.
Yes, sir.
What, if anything, did you do after the call?
You just said distress.
After the call drops, I believe I give Najee a call back, just trying to confirm what's going on. She tells me that she thinks.
Listen, you don't have to say what she like. Did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
Okay. And following that conversation, what, if anything, did you do?
Nothing like what you nothing like what you left an hour ago, and you don't have nothing to tell 911.
Do or needed to do.
No, except be there for support.
And even my hood ass cousin would have had, but she fucked up
I'm not when
for him or something.
finish the call. Did you learn that you might be needed to go somewhere for support?
Yes. After that call, the second call we're speaking of right now, yes. At that point, I knew I might be needed somewhere later in the evening for support.
Distressed week, and y'all all know she pregnant.
That you,
It did indeed turn out to be true.
and where did you go?
Vanderbilt Hospital.
And let's say, why did you go there?
Because at this point, I had learned the severity of the situation that was occurring with Miss Benning.
And that you would have been one of the last people to see her.
Or speak with her, yes.
To speak with her.
Both, yes.
When you arrived at the hospital, where did you go?
I pull up and park right in front of the ambulance dock at Vanderbilt, and I was instructed to park in the garage that is right across the walkway.
Who, if anyone, did you see there that you recognized?
At that point in time, I don't believe there was anyone outside that I knew, but I did eventually go and meet with Najee.
And where was Miss Jackson when you first saw her at the hospital?
Either coming down the stairs in the lobby. If I can recall, more so like the lobby, the main area right inside of the emergency room.
Do you recall approximately what time it would have been when you arrived at Vanderbilt?
In between 12:45 and 1:30 a.m.
At any time while you were there, did you see the gentleman that you had met earlier in the evening? Mr.
No.
Taylor?
Didn't see him at all.
Were you allowed to see Miss Benning at the hospital that night?
That night, no. I did not see Miss Benning that night.
Did you see or speak to any police officers that night?
No.
As the days went on, did you go back to the hospital?
Yes, I went back to the hospital, I believe the next day when the family and friends
Kendra, you gonna tell me you in anybody's medical school and think you can pull up and park in the ambulance bay?
The severity of the situation. And then I believe I went back a final time for her birthday.
Was that a larger family gathering?
That was the day that it was decided that the plug was going to be pulled.
Why do you keep bucking his eyes like this?
Since that night, evening, when you left the apartment, have you seen or spoken to Mr. Taylor again?
No.
Or did you forget your glasses or something? Why do you keep doing this? And apparently so is the BFF. So aside from being the best friend, you go to Meharry and you don't call 911 when your friend is in distress?
Is being personally in the presence of Mr. Taylor, that's not occurred, has it?
No.
Okay. As far as, ask about phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any telephone or cell phone communications where you were involved that Mr. Taylor was on the line?
I believe on 2 instances the night that, things transpired on February 25th.
Yeah. Okay. And that's what's around to those conversations. How did that work? Let's talk about the first one.
So the first one was that initial phone call when I was told that, something was going on. I get on the phone with Mr. Taylor and I simply just ask him yo, what's going on? Is everything good? Please tell me you didn't, something didn't happen in that, at the house. And he answers me and says that, nothing happened. He doesn't know what's going on.
And you described Ms. Jackson's tone of voice and what was Mr. Taylor's tone?
I could sense a little bit of panic in his voice, kind of just, I don't know what type of panic, but there was some sort of like panic in his voice.
Now, was there a second communication?
Yeah,
that
so
involved Mr. Taylor?
the second line of communications happens while I'm at my friend's house. I think Najee calls me back, and I can hear her and Mr. Taylor, like, you know, going back and forth with each other. This is now currently while they're at the hospital. Again, I'm not there, but I'm at my friend's. And I hear them going back and forth with each other. I think she's telling him, like, stay away from her, X, Y, and Z. And so I ask her at that point, like, put him on the phone. And when he gets on the phone, I ask him again, I'm like, yo, listen, like, please tell me you didn't do something to that girl. And he again states that he didn't. He doesn't know what's going on. I again reiterate that question and say, bro, please tell me, like, you didn't do anything to the girl. And again, his word is that he doesn't know what's going on. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to her. He swears on it.
And what was his tone or demeanor?
Again, like there seems like a little bit of uncertain panic that's going on in his undertone. Like I said, I'm no detective or anything, but like I said, I feel like
I was about to say you were a ruggy. Y'all done came up with this, put it on him.
Is that the extent in the final conversation that you
Yeah.
had with Mr. Taylor?
That would have been the last time I spoke with him, yes, sir.
Yeah, you add that little bit of seasoning to it. The defense is getting ready to have a lot to ask you, Keontae. You're no detective, but you're asking him, did he do it?
Yes, sir.
And did you know any of Miss Benning's family or relatives prior to seeing them there at the hospital?
No, just heard of them, you know, word of mouth, but I never met them or anything like that.
Also, what all did Miss Jackson tell you? Because why do you think you got the authority or enough information to say, please tell me you ain't do nothing to that girl? And if you don't know him from a can of paint, how do you know what his tone is? It's very weird. It's very weird. There's some information missing. There's a whole conversation missing. There is a conversation missing that has transpired between Keontae and this BFF.
My name is Ed Jointer. People just call me Ed. I'm going to be asking you a few questions. If at any time you don't understand, please let me know.
All right, Ed.
Gotcha.
Mr. Jones, when you were talking to the state, you said you came to the Nashville area for school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where did you come from? What state?
I came here from Ohio.
That's where you were born and raised at?
Yes, sir.
Oh, God.
And just I want to clear up a few things. You also said that you began Meharry Medical School in the fall of 23?
Well, I was in the online master's program in 2022, and I started actual campus classes fall of 2023. Yes, dental school in fall of 2023.
So fall of 2023 will begin when?
We actually have a MAPS program that begins in about this time. Actually, orientation was just yesterday, but actual on-campus classes start the first week of August.
So
Come on, Janae. Because
the incident that we're here for is February of
giving Marion.
correct?
20, yeah.
So in February of 2023, where are you?
What you trying to say about Franklin County?
Are you online?
It's giving Marion.
In February of 2023, I would have been in person on campus, a dental student at that point in time.
Okay. And there you met and knew Miss Nigel Jackson,
Yes.
and you all were friends.
Yes.
And so I want to talk to you about before you went over Miss Benning's house.
Okay.
you stated on direct examination that you had planned to go out that evening with your friends.
Yes, sir.
And at some point, you were invited by Ms. Jackson to go to Mrs. Benning's house.
Yes, sir.
And you also knew that Blaise Taylor would be at Mrs. Benning's house.
Yes, sir, I believe so.
And so, did you have any reservations about going on a date to Mrs. Benning's house and Blaise was going to be there? Did you feel like you were intruding, is my question.
I can't say at the time. I think, it was more so I knew that they were going to be having like I guess couples night. So I'd say it was okay, like they could have their time together. But I was told that Jade wanted us to come.
Right. Was it going to be like a double dating situation?
No.
What was your purpose of going there?
Because I had been given the invite to come get food as well.
And so, did you plan to stay long?
No.
So, you were going to get some food and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Can I have Stacy exhibit 1A and 1B? Commissioner Pavasham?
Yeah, it should be coming up there.
All right. So you talked about going over Miss Benning's house. Does this look like Miss Benning's house as it was in February of 2023?
No, not as it was as February 2023. No, sir.
This is not her apartment?
No, this is her apartment.
Okay. And that's what I'm asking. I'm asking you, is this the apartment that you were at?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And so you all go over there and there was some talks about Blaise's demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And by all accounts, you described him as normal.
Normal, yes, sir.
Nothing was alarming about him.
The only thing that was alarming, like I can attest to, is a comment about painting a black hole. It's the only thing that stood out to me.
I agree. Let's talk about that. You see this? Can you draw a circle around that image right there for me? If you touch your screen, it'll put a circle around it. Do you know what that is?
I can't tell you what it is now.
That's a painting. Is it not?
I can tell you it's a painting, yes, sir.
Does it look like an ominous black hole?
I don't know what it looks like.
Do you know what a black hole looks like?
Dark, kind of how this looks, a little dark as well.
I want to point to, can you draw a smaller hole within inside of that hole? Mr. Jones, is that a dark hole?
It's a white circle.
My question is that a dark hole?
No, sir.
One other thing.
They're gonna clear that,
Okay.
unless you want it still up.
Thanks. Thank you. The state had asked you who was present there. And in this photograph, we see two people here in this corner. You see those two individuals there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see those two individuals there?
Yes, sir.
Were they present when you came?
No, sir.
So, at some point, you and Ms. Jackson get your food and you all leave, correct?
Yes, sir.
And where do you go again?
To my house?
And does Ms. Jackson accompany you there?
Yes, sir.
And about how long does she stay there?
As I've stated already, probably about an hour max. I think 40 minutes to an hour.
And how do you, if you remember, how far do you live away from Mrs. Benning?
At most 12 minutes, You put it in maps?
Okay. So from Miss Benning's house, you go back to your house, correct?
Yes.
You stay there about an hour.
Yes, sir.
You eat the food.
Eat the food.
It's delicious.
Yes.
And then at some point, Miss Jackson leaves.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us how long was she gone before you received a call from her?
I can't really recall.
Do you remember feeling like it was quick? Damn, she just left.
I think it was probably about, again, like 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. So she calls you. And when she calls you, you
But that
describe her
amount
as
of
being in
stuff,
a panic.
you know,
Yes,
to
sir.
take that long.
And as a result of her calling you, you get on a three-way call with Miss Benning.
Yes, sir.
And so now it's you, Jade, and Isaiah on a three-way call.
Yes, sir.
And you're not able to make out anything that Jade is saying.
Like I said, it just sounded distressed. I believe she might have like maybe said my name or like that she needed help or something of that nature.
What?
So you heard that when you were on the call.
I need you to reiterate that.
I'll rephrase it, no problem.
Yes, sir.
When you were on direct examination with the state,
Why she asking you for help? And you didn't call 911 when she asked you for help?
it was you, Najee, and Miss Benning.
Yes,
Correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
Well,
When you were on
that
direct
might be what's
examination
happening
with the
here.
state, you said how you could not ascertain what Miss Benning was saying, correct?
It was very slurred.
And now on direct examination, you're saying she was saying your name, Keith?
I can't tell you what she was saying.
So which one is correct? Did she say something audible that you could understand, or did she?
It was very muffled. It was very muffled. So no, it wasn't too clear what she was saying.
Okay. But just to be clear, the original call from Nigeria, you felt that she was in distress and a panic, Nigeria, correct? When
Yeah.
she first called
This is
You're asking me
weird.
was Najee in a
You're
panic?
really
that's how
fucking
you
weird.
describe
What
it,
happened to this girl?
Yes.
you. Okay.
This is sick.
And so as a result of you
He giving the best
experiencing
friend
that distress phone call from Nigeria, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then being on a three-way call with Nigeria as well as Miss Benning,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Your method, what you did after that was continue on with your day, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said you went out, right?
Yes, sir.
After hearing that,
Did you change your clothes
somebody you don't know ain't never been to
At
your
what
house,
point in the
ain't never
night?
been to their house, ask
after the call?
your
And
name
when
and
you got
ask
back
you
home,
help.
Yes, sir.
did you change your clothes when you first got back home?
To go out, yes, sir.
Do you remember what you changed into?
Nah, I couldn't tell you.
So at some point while being out, you said you received another call or you made a call?
I can't recall. I just know I was on the phone at some point, me being out.
Okay.
He
And as a result of you being on the phone while you were out, you said you went to Vanderbilt Hospital.
After me being out, yes.
Right, because regardless of what you heard earlier, you still went out with your plans, correct?
Yes, sir.
And while you were out, you got another call.
Mm-hmm.
And that call led you to go to Vanderbilt Hospital, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you get a visitor's pass that night?
I don't know. I can't recall.
Well, tell the jury, what did you do after you got at Vanderbilt?
When I get to Vanderbilt, obviously I think I check on the person that I'm most connected to in the situation. And at that point, I check on Najee and Miss Jackson.
How do you check on them?
We meet in the emergency room lobby.
Are you able to do that without getting a visitor's pass?
I wouldn't know Vanderbilt's criteria as far as how they go about seeing visitors.
Did you go through a metal detector that night?
I don't think they have metal detectors at the door.
Uh-oh.
So if Miss Jackson had a visitor's pass and went through a metal detector to get into Vanderbilt. Certainly you would have too, correct?
I would assume so, but like I said, maybe their staff wasn't doing their job that night.
Oh,
Maybe so. Let's talk about who you encountered once you arrived at Vanderbilt. Did you encounter an officer named Fitz?
I don't believe so.
Did you encounter a Detective Smith?
I don't believe so.
Did you encounter a Officer Kalinsky?
Don't believe so.
Did you talk to law enforcement at all that night?
I don't think so.
At some point during either call, when you were on the phone on the three-way, did you ever hear Blaise say he was about to call 911?
I think I do recall him maybe saying something of that nature.
At any point, did you ever learn that the police wanted to speak with you?
At that particular night, no.
And if the law enforcement wanted to speak to you, would you have been a willing participant?
Yes.
Do you recall an interview with an investigator around April 30th of 2023?
The one that showed up to my house?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
And do you recall speaking with that investigator?
I do.
And do you recall telling that investigator that no one from law enforcement ever contacted you?
I guess so. I can't recall.
You can't recall?
what?
I don't recall that conversation. I think that was almost 2 years ago.
Would a recording of that conversation
Oh shit!
refresh your memory and aid you in your testimony today?
If you have it, yes, it would definitely help.
Brief moment, John. Now, for a moment, to just get the audio recording.
Okay, now you just have audio or also have a transcript?
I have an audio, I only have one transcription, Your Honor, but I have an audio that way I can provide it also to the state and other hearings.
Or we may need to approach.
Okay, pull out the transcript and see if we can show it to the witness and see if that refreshes his memory.
I have a copy of the transcript, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you wanting to approach the bench?
Yes, Your Honor, as opposed to asking for the jury out.
Okay. Step up.
Have you heard this, Blaise? You might need to carry your ass up there and hear this too. Y'all, this testimony is weird. Because what are we hiding? This is another one of those ones where somebody would just say the thing. Kendra, that's where I'm at. If somebody would just say the thing. If somebody would just say the thing. It's something. This is given. My homie John O'Keefe is given, like, if somebody would just say what actually happened, it's the lies is making it worse than what actually happened. Like, the thing happened, right? But that what we're doing to cover it up is way more dastardly than what the hell actually happened. And it sounds crazy. And they don't want to get kicked out of school. That's another one. That's another one I was thinking about. Like, well, how has this affected them, especially in a school as historic as Meharry? And to be honest, your legacy, Grambling, like, what they don't like. It sounds really, really crazy. Oh. The Lord don't give memory to a liar. Come on, Mom. It's like something so, it seems like it's something so simple or something so apparent.
All right, get that, Eric. They're wanting to show you just this transcript of this paper and see if you can just look at the bracketed information at the bottom. Is the question he's wanting to ask you about whether you ever talked to the police. Does that refresh your memory as to what you told the investigators?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then what is your question? You need it back?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh, dear God. What have y'all gotten yourselves into?
So, Mr. Jones,
Whatever black
we
hole he
were
was painting is the one y'all took
discussing
down.
whether or not you recalled having an interview on April 30th, 2023 with an investigator from Covert. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall stating that at that time, the police did not interview you?
Yes, sir.
And do you also recall stating that, honestly, I was trying to kind of be as far away from the case as possible?
Yes, sir.
And
Well, that's
Mr.
understandable. Who wants to be
Jones,
part of this mess?
have you ever been convicted of a misdemeanor theft?
Never been convicted, not to my knowledge, no.
1 second. Not to your knowledge.
Ask and answer.
Okay.
Sir.
Any other questions?
Sure. I just want to make sure that I understand when you say no, that are you saying it never happened or you don't remember ever being in legal trouble for misdemeanor theft out of Ohio?
Right, chapter that.
Okay, legal trouble. You asked him if been convicted of a misdemeanor theft? And your answer is,
Not to my knowledge, I've never been convicted for a crime.
okay.
So. One second, Your Honor.
What is happening? Now we got to look up Keontae Jones in Ohio somewhere. Because he ain't gonna tell us what happened.
Mr. Jones, you are from Ohio, correct?
I stated earlier, yes, sir.
Thank you. No further questions.
Wait, let the lawyer step up to us.
What you doing? I mean, he couldn't have been convicted, right? Yeah, he couldn't have been convicted. Well, it's a misdemeanor. I don't know. His first name, who up in there looking? His first name is Keyauntee. Let me write it. It was a misdemeanor.
Any other questions from the state?
Always reluctant to say just briefly, but I'll try to do that. Sir, April 2023, was that when the defendant's investigator came to your residence?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any advance notice that someone was coming to interview you?
Not at all. I was woken up out of my sleep.
And this person identified themselves. Do you recall who it was?
If they did, they didn't make themselves clear as to who they were, just that they were an investigator of part of this case.
Oh, so they had to come find your ass.
Now, as the police investigation moved along, have you not only been interviewed, but spoken with the prosecutors on several occasions?
Yes, sir. As far as, yes.
In preparation for
This
this
case.
trial?
Yes, sir.
And this being very shortly after Ms. Benning passed, was that something you were focusing on?
At the time, no. I was probably more so focused on school and, things of that nature.
Is that you described hearing both Mr. Taylor and Ms. Jackson as panic. You use that word. Their voices, the tenor of their voices.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a difference between the two types of panic?
There was a difference. Miss Jackson's, like as I stated, was more so like a frantic, worried panic, and I don't know what language I'm allowed to use in here, but Mr.
We're all adults.
Mr. Taylor's was more so of like an
They say from Toledo.
Type of panic.
Oh, that's your opinion?
Those are my questions.
Any other questions?
Sure. Mr.
Yes, sir.
That description that you just gave while the state was on redirect, oh shit, I fucked up, panic. Have you ever stated that before at any time to anyone?
Yes.
Did you state that to the investigator when he spoke to you on April 30th?
I don't know if that question was even asked in that investigative conversation.
Do you not remember?
As I already stated, that was about 2.5 years ago, so no, I don't recall.
And would, if given the opportunity to review a transcript of that conversation, would that refresh your memory and aid your testimony here today?
I think it would. Can I ask, sir, where would you like me to be reading, or should I read the whole thing?
Take a moment, read all of it.
You said read all of it. Didn't I say Toledo first? Didn't I say Toledo first? Glass City, I said Toledo first. I'm gonna regret starting this process now, but I gotta get this done this week. Get these nails off. I said that first. Listen, that's why I said Ohio.
Can I ask, is there a specific place that you want me to read? I've read over it, but nothing, I'm not getting where this is leading.
It's not for you.
I bet you are.
Did you read all of it?
It's
I mean,
not
it would
for
be
you.
here a
Yes,
while if
come
I
on.
read all of it.
It's worth it. Please take the time to familiarize yourself with it.
Okay.
Cause he's finna come at you about this here. You know, I tell you, digging a hole. That black hole you said he was painting, you digging it.
Okay, I think I've seen enough.
You seen
Read
enough?
all of it, sir.
I didn't.
Did you read all of it, please?
Just read the whatever page, black pages. Didn't read.
I'll leave you that. Maybe approach briefly.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, now what's your question?
So Mr. Jones, the description you gave that Mr. Taylor was, oh, I fucked up, panic. Have you ever given that statement to anyone at any time?
Yes,
When?
when I met with the DA.
When was that?
First time I probably gave that testimony was back in February.
Of this year?
Yes,
Okay. And did you talk to Detective Reese on February 28th of 2023 by phone?
I don't know who Detective Reese is.
So if he said he spoke to you, you don't recall that?
Is that who this person is?
No, sir.
I don't know who Detective Reese is.
Thank you. No further questions.
Just you, Mr. Jones, having read this transcript, did you see anywhere in there where you were asked the question to describe or asked to describe the panic that you testified every day? Were you ever asked that?
I don't see that question presented in this document.
All right. But we asked you, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Any other questions?
Mr. Jones, you understood that the purpose of that visit was to get information about what happened and what information you may have had as it related to Jade Benning, correct?
Sure. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No further questions, John.
Mr. Jones, when did you realize
Jesus.
that person who came and tried and got this information from you was working for Mr. Taylor?
After I had already had this conversation and given them the information they requested.
That's all.
Any other questions?
No questions from Ms. Winshaw.
Thank you. Who's the next?
Andrea Rose.
Lee with the Uncle Clifford. Re. Grand opening. Golly. Next witness. And how you not know who you talking to and you steady giving them information? Now that's about goofy. And you gonna be somebody's doctor? You been and gave up all the HIPAA information and don't even know who you talking to the right person.
You swear the testimony you're about to give the truth, so I do.
More law enforcement. Sharonda.
Your Honor, if I could I have State's Exhibit 1A and 1B, please?
They're gonna show you something.
This been a mess, Sharonda.
Ma'am, could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Andrea Rose, ANDREAROSE,
And Ms. Rose, where are you employed?
Nashville Fire Department.
How long have you been with Nashville Fire?
It'll be 4 years in October
And how are you currently employed with Nashville Fire?
as a paramedic.
Okay, have you been in that capacity the entire time with Nashville Fire?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And were you on duty February 25th, 2023?
I was.
Did you respond to an incident located at 1522 Lebanon Pike, apartment 107?
Yes,
Was that here in Davidson County?
it was.
Do you recall what you initially were told you were responding to, what the dispatch was for?
I believe it was an allergic reaction.
And were you in the ambulance?
Yes,
Driver or passenger?
passenger.
Were you the first medic on the scene?
I was.
Ms. Rose, can you describe to the jury what you remember when you first got there?
I don't recall who took us. I don't know if he took us to the patient or if he met us at the door. I don't remember any of that. First thing I remember was seeing Miss Benning on the bed.
Okay, I'm going to publish something for you.
Do you recognize this?
I do.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what this is?
This is the apartment where when you walk in.
And these two females right here, they were not present.
That's correct.
And you mentioned the male. Do you see that male in the courtroom today?
I do.
Okay, could you point him out, describe something he's wearing for the court, please?
Yep, he's right over there wearing a blue suit and a white shirt.
Your Honor, if the record could reflect our identification of Mr. Taylor.
Okay.
And Ms. Rose, do you recall what Mr. Taylor's demeanor was like on that 25th?
Yes, he was very frantic.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
He was very anxious.
And what did you do when you got in that apartment?
First thing, we went to Miss Benning, and we turned her over.
What are we looking at right here?
That's the bed that Miss Benning was in.
Okay, and you can draw on that screen. Can you show the jury how Ms. Benning was positioned on that bed?
Yes, she was laying long ways like that with her head this way.
And right here, what am I circling?
That's where she had vomited.
And what did that look like?
It was like a pink frothy sputum.
And were you trying to get any medical information from Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Could he give you anything?
He just told us that she was pregnant, and he couldn't tell me how far along she was, nothing, no medical history and anything like that.
I thought he didn't tell nobody she was pregnant.
Okay. Was he saying anything while you were in the apartment?
Yes, he did say that she ate bad food. That's what he kept telling us.
And was the scene considered safe?
Initially, yes, but by the time we tried doing patient care, no.
Okay, and what do you mean by try to do patient care?
We tried to assess the patient. Like I said, we tried rolling her over, and he would not allow us to. He just kept being very handsy with the patient, not allowing us to properly take care of the patient.
Did you perform CPR on Ms. Benning inside the apartment?
I did not.
Why?
Because the scene was not safe. So for the patient's well-being, it was better off just to get her to the truck. We call it load and go. If the scene's not safe, that's what we do.
Mr. Wright, if I could get the computer, please. And Ms. Rose, when you rolled Ms. Benning over, can you describe to the jury what her condition was like?
She was unresponsive, no pulse, was limp.
I'm gonna hand something.
Listen,
Thank you, sir.
he was handsy.
Ms. Rose, do you recognize that?
Somebody
Yes, ma'am, I do.
said it to me.
Do you create a report for every incident you respond to?
Yes, we do.
And what normally goes in a report?
Pretty much a summary of what goes on with each call. Basically, we just put what medic unit we were in, saying that we were dispatched to what address, what type of call it was, and then what kind of interventions we do while we're there. And then we just put that we took the patient to the hospital, and then we put that we got a signature, or that we gave a report to the oncoming crew at the hospital. And basically just get signatures from them, and we make sure we put that in here just so it's clear. And then once we get the signatures, that patient care is transferred over.
Okay, and did it appear to you that Ms. Benning was suffering from an allergic reaction?
No, it did not.
Okay, can you tell the jury why not?
Allergic reaction usually is they have symptoms such as like a swelling tongue, like a closed airway, hives, itching, and Ms. Benning did not have any of that.
What are we looking at on this first page of the EMT report?
So the top part, I
Weird.
guess the very top part is the patient's name, the address, age, birthday, and then the big paragraph is a summary of the call. And then after that, any medications, allergies, food allergies, anything like that, which I was unable to get. And then after that, the top part of this one is what heart rhythm that the patient was in. Again, she was in cardiac arrest. So once we got on the monitor, it showed PEA. That's what I have there.
What is PEA?
Pulseless electrical activity.
Did you ever try to use the paddles on Ms. Benning?
They were placed, but we never got to use them.
Okay, why not?
because we do not shock PEA.
Why is that?
It just doesn't do anything for the heart. The best thing to do would be epi, which we did.
I'm gonna jump down to this. What are we looking at right now?
All the 0 over 0 is a blood pressure, so she never had a blood pressure, and all the zeros to the right is her pulse. She never had a pulse at all.
And can you walk the jury through what the procedures were you did once you got to Ms. Benning to try to save her life?
Yes. So, like I said, when we got to her, we realized that she didn't have a pulse. She wasn't breathing. So we got her loaded to the truck, which is where we actually started the CPR. And then we did the IV, so we could give her drugs through the IV, such as epi and Narcan. And then we gave her oxygen, put her on the cardiac monitor, and we intubated her with an eye gel, so that way we can breathe for her since she wasn't breathing for herself.
Okay, and what would epi do for Ms. Benning?
It tries to excite the heart, get the heart pumping again.
And what about Narcan?
Narcan is for to see if we can reverse any side effects of opioids.
Did Ms. Benning respond to the epi or the Narcan?
No, she did not. Not for us anyway.
And once you got Ms. Benning in the truck, do you recall seeing anyone else?
On scene, yes. Once we got on the truck, we saw a female.
Okay, can you describe to the jury what that female demeanor was like?
Yeah, she was very upset, very scared. Was very concerned about Miss Benning, asking if she was going to be okay, asking what was wrong with her. She eventually tried getting in the truck too, but we told her we can't have her in there. And so yeah, she was very, very concerned.
Okay. And the female that showed up and Mr. Taylor's demeanor, can you describe to the jury if they were similar or if they were different in how so?
They were very different. The female seemed, like I said, very concerned for the patient, trying to figure out what was wrong with her. And the male just felt like he was just more anxious and just trying to, like I said, be very handsy, like not wanting us to do anything, not wanting us to touch her, and he wanted to try to take over from us.
Okay. At any point, did you see Mr. Taylor crying?
Never.
At any point, did Mr. Taylor ask you if Ms. Benning was going to be okay?
Never.
At any point, did Mr. Taylor try to get in the ambulance with Ms. Benning?
Never.
What are we looking at here?
Hold on.
So this is the GCS. So she had a GCS of 3, which means she was never verbal, never alert, just had no reaction to anything from us.
She was dead.
And at some point during your assessment of Ms. Benning, did you call Vanderbilt Hospital?
I did.
And why is that?
We like to call them ahead of time, let them know what we've got coming in. I let them know that we're coming in emergency traffic with this patient, cardiac arrest, CPR in progress, and that.
But all good, they get on my nerve.
That way they can get more staff readily available before we get there.
Did you transport, did the ambulance go with lights and sirens?
Yes.
Okay, and why is that?
Because the patient was critical. She was in cardiac arrest, so we would go lights and sirens with that to get to the hospital faster.
I want to talk a little bit about the time. It looks like you arrived at Ms. Benning around 9:50 p.m. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And you departed only 10 minutes later?
Correct.
Is it typical to be moving that fast with a patient like Ms. Benning?
Yes.
And why is that?
Any critical patient, we try to get them to the hospital as soon as we can. We don't like to waste any time on scene.
And you got Ms. Benning to Vanderbilt 12 minutes later to Vanderbilt? Is that
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And am I correct in saying that all life-saving measures started once you got in the ambulance?
Correct.
Okay. And
This is
Why is
really
that?
weird.
Because the scene was not safe, so we could not perform CPR immediately.
What
we
wasn't
would like
safe?
to
I keep
have
saying
done.
it wasn't safe. Y'all couldn't even
at
carry
any
her.
point in your care of Ms. Benning, was she ever responsive?
Never.
Did she ever have a pulse?
Never.
And once you released here to Vanderbilt, is that when your involvement with this case stopped?
Yes, that's correct.
Or if you'll give me 1 minute. So our first thing is that that is the state's next exhibit, D5, the EMT report.
Okay, you good.
Thank you.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. How do you get started? I know it's 3 o'clock. I don't know if it might be a good time for
It's 3:05, but go ahead. Break it right after this with.
Good afternoon, it's Miss Rose, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do my best to remember that, because I know your report says Miss Agrawal.
Yes, sir.
So I apologize, because at the top of my notes here, I have Agrawal written on every page. And
Oh,
so
that's okay.
I hope I don't confuse that.
That's okay.
That report that you create, that's been introduced, that's something you created in every case, is that right?
That's correct.
And so sometime, obviously not when you're in the middle of a call, but sometime later, you collect all the information and everything you remember, and you write it down in a report, right?
That's correct.
And it's important for you to be thorough and include all the information, right?
Yes.
And so, especially in a serious situation like this, where several years later, you've got to come testify, is that kind of what you use to refresh your recollection?
Yes.
So, it's not a super long report. It's about maybe five pages or so. Does that seem about right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a lot of like technical details in it, right?
Correct.
And a little narrative about what happened. Is that right?
Yes.
Were there other materials that you reviewed and preparing for your testimony today?
Just the report.
Just that report?
Yep.
Did you have like a real clear, independent recollection of this night?
Yes, it was pretty clear.
Very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something about this night that allowed you to recall it specifically 3 years later?
I mean, losing a baby is pretty kind of traumatizing.
Did you follow this case along afterwards?
No.
Okay. So how did you know that the baby passed away?
I mean, I reached out the next day and got a report, but past that, no.
Okay. So you did follow up the day later,
Yeah, just a day later.
but not a week later or 10 days later?
Nope.
And you've done some case prep.
Yes.
So you know that there was a murder charge that we're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Taylor's on trial, right?
Yep.
So went to the grand jury and there's been an investigation and all that stuff?
Correct.
Okay. And you've met with the district attorney's office and prepared for your testimony here today?
Correct.
But the only notes or anything that you've kind of used has been this report that's been introduced?
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask you a few questions about kind of how you ended up out there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, your initial call in this report is that you were actually dispatched for an overdose. Is that right?
So I don't recall because the cab kept changing. He kept telling dispatch different things throughout the cab or throughout the report.
But that report, the very first line in your narrative says you're dispatched for an overdose. Is that right?
That's what it says, but again, this was 2 years ago, so I mean,
So you don't actually remember why that is in that report?
whatever's in my report is all I remember.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm asking, the report says you were dispatched for an overdose. Is that right?
Again, I don't recall. I remember the allergic reaction part. He kept telling dispatch different things. That's all I remember.
Well, hang on a second. Let me back up a second. You're not on the call with dispatch, right?
We get updates through dispatch on our CAD.
Okay, so you can see like a CAD scrolling along in the
Yes.
vehicle. And so you're seeing, we got new information, it's an allergic reaction. We got new information, it's an overdose. We got new information, it's something else.
Correct.
Okay. So you specifically remember seeing that on this call.
Correct.
Okay, what time was it changed from an overdose to an allergic reaction?
I don't have the exact times.
How many times was it changed between an overdose and an allergic reaction?
I don't recall.
If I passed you a copy of the CAD report, I'll have to pull it. If I passed you a copy of the CAD report, how can you show me where in there it shows that it was listed as an overdose?
Possibly.
Okay.
What the?
Thank you, sir.
So the question is, I know that was a little bit of conversation, but at what point during that, in that CAD report, does it list this call as an overdose?
So this is not our CAD report. This is PD's CAD report. That's totally different.
So is there another CAD report out there
There is,
from the fire department?
yes,
That is a different, or from EMS,
correct.
that is a different report.
That's what I said. Yes, sir.
And that's generated by, not by 911 emergency communications?
It should be, but this is not the same report.
That's not the same report.
Mm-mm.
There is an actual 911 CAD report
That's correct.
that has additional information.
Yes, that's correct.
All right? Now, clear that I have that report. Do you know where those reports are generated?
I do not.
Do you know who maintains those reports?
I do not.
Do you know who inputs information into those reports?
I do not.
But you get information from those reports when you come out to a call.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so at some point you believe that there was information in that CAD report that says, this is an overdose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you wrote down in your report, that it was believed that this was an overdose. Yes?
Yeah, whatever I saw in that CAD report is what I put in my report.
Do you have any idea where the information came from that this might be an overdose?
Probably, I don't know how 911 dispatch does their stuff. 911 dispatch gives us what they hear, and that's what we go off of.
So it's possible there was like a description of symptoms that could have caused them to classify it as an overdose?
I guess you could say that. I mean, like I said, they tell us what it is, and then they can change throughout before we even get there. It can change from an overdose. It can change to an allergic reaction. It can change. It changes throughout the whole time. So
sometimes clearly someone calls and says, hey, we were taking drugs, we were shooting up, and they passed out. That's an easy, like, we know it's an overdose, right?
can you repeat that?
Sometimes there's an emergency call where someone is doing drugs and they pass out, right? Like they're shooting up and they just fall out, right?
Yes.
There are calls like that.
Yes.
And 911 knows that that's a clear overdose.
Not always.
Not always?
People don't always tell the truth to dispatch.
Sure. You're absolutely right. And I apologize. I'm being a little bit presumptive here. But occasionally, maybe 911 has a little bit clearer idea that there are drugs involved in this situation. They have been told that there are drugs involved in this situation. And they know that's an overdose. Put that way over on this end of the spectrum. Right?
Sure.
Sometimes maybe is it fair to say there's situations where they just get like a description of symptoms and then they're guessing that it's maybe an overdose?
Sometimes. Just depends on the call.
But you don't know from this situation, you don't have a memory in your CAD of why they called this an overdose?
No. It must have been what he said to 911. I'm not sure. Again, that would have to be a conversation with 911 what they were told to dispatch.
Okay, that's interesting. So what you just said, it must have been what he said, right?
Yeah, we don't know what what callers tell dispatch.
You don't know what he said, right?
No.
Did you receive any information during this case about what Mr. Taylor told 911?
It's very vague. It says either what type of call it is, where the patient's at, the address, possibly the age.
What is
That's
happening?
So do you have any reason to believe that any specific information that suggests that Mr. Taylor told 911 that Ms. Benning was overdosed?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I clarified. The call maybe have come in as an overdose. I don't remember. You'd have to look at the 911 CAD. And if it changed to an allergic reaction, which obviously it did, we would know that on the CAD.
So you're just assuming that he would have told them that it was a drug overdose?
That's what the CAD said.
That the caller said it was a drug overdose?
Yep. The CAD comes in and says either overdose, allergic reaction. That's what we go off of. And we don't know anything until we get to the scene.
Okay. So we somehow changed, and you don't know how many times it changed, right?
No, not off the top of my head.
And I apologize, I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but I'm trying to understand because I don't think I have that CAB report. So I'm trying to understand how this works. Okay? So, and the information you had was that at the time of the call, the patient was breathing normally, right?
Yep.
And that was the information, that's what's in your report.
At the before we got there, yes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yes.
before you arrived. Now you noted, and I'm gonna take a quick side step here. You've been with the Nashville Fire Department for 4 years, right?
Correct.
And you are an actual paramedic?
Correct.
Did you work somewhere else before Nashville Fire Department?
Not as a paramedic.
Were you an advanced EMT somewhere else?
No.
Do you have other medical training or background?
Yes, I've been an EMTB in a hospital since 2012, different hospitals.
So you have a pretty good amount of experience in the medical profession.
Yes.
Do you have a significant amount of experience responding to emergency calls then?
Yes.
In your significant experience then, can medical crises happen quickly?
Yes.
And can an individual's medical condition change quickly?
Yes.
Is it always easy or always possible to predict how quickly someone's medical condition can change?
No.
So is it possible that Ms. Benning was in fact breathing during a call and that within the 10 minutes it took for EMS, the fire department, to respond that she stopped breathing?
It's possible, but we don't know for sure.
Sure, we don't know, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think you mentioned this, I just want to make sure while we're looking at this first part, you did know, Mr. Taylor did tell you guys right up front that Ms. Benning was pregnant, right?
After we asked him, yes.
Okay. So you were asking him questions, right?
Mhm.
Trying to get some basic information,
Correct.
is that correct? And he was answering your questions?
Correct. Well, we asked him about medical history, and all he could tell us is that she was pregnant. He couldn't tell us how far along. Nothing.
Well,
So
hell, he ain't know her.
Okay. And you don't know whether he just doesn't know a lot, do you?
We don't know. He couldn't
don't-
answer anything.
Sure, okay. But he did tell you that she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's about what he knew.
If I could see
I don't.
Exhibit 5, I think that the most recently introduced exhibit.
A report,
The report, yes.
you all heard us see it.
No, I'd like to see it. I think it'd be good. John? I'm not able to say that.
God bless.
Unfortunately, I apologize. I don't have a very fancy presentation with little things snipped out, so we'll kind of have to do this the old-fashioned way. I have to hit a button here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I want to talk for a second about the timeline of this call.
There you go, Keisha. He lied about not following this case.
Let me get to this page. Okay. My goodness. Okay. This portion of the report right here, do you recognize that?
I do.
Is it accurate to say this provides information about when various things occurred during the call?
Yes.
So the very first entry, what does PSAP stand
I honestly have no idea. Maybe what time the call came in. I'm not sure. We don't do anything with the times until unit dispatched.
for? So it's the very first entry in this report, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 2138, I'm so terrible with military time, but what's 2138?
9:38 p.m.
938. So potentially that's when the call was initially made to 911, right?
Correct.
The next entry is dispatch notified 2140. That's 2 minutes later, right?
Correct.
And is that the time between the call was made and they're finally dispatching you guys, telling dispatch we need somebody to get out on the road?
Unit dispatched is what time they contact us.
Okay, it's the same time between dispatch notified and unit dispatch, 21:40 and 57 seconds.
Correct.
So almost identical. That's you guys getting out, being told you need to get out on the road.
Correct.
And we don't know why there's a 2-minute delay up at the very top there.
No.
You are en route 941.
Correct.
You are at the scene 7 minutes later at 9:48.
Correct.
You are at the patient 2 minutes after that, 9:50.
Correct.
You depart 10 minutes after that at 10 o'clock.
Correct.
And you get to the hospital 12 minutes after that,
Correct.
right? That seems about accurate to your recollection of that night.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to kind of clarify from your testimony before is you had sort of discussed this set of readings that you had, blood pressure, pulse, all this stuff, right?
Correct.
This is the only set of readings that's included in your report.
Correct.
So the time on those readings begin at 21:57 and 30 seconds.
Correct.
But we had just seen that you had actually arrived at 21:40 and gotten to the patient at 21:50.
I mean, it's very easy for times to get mixed up in an emergency.
Okay.
It's an estimate, pretty much.
Is it possible that this set of readings starting 7 minutes later is from when you got Miss Benning into the truck?
Possibly.
It would have to be got
I'm
into
not
the inside
totally
the
sure what her blood pressure, pulse, all that other stuff would be like the minute you got there and got to her at 12:50.
We do know because I manually checked it.
Well, let me ask about this. There is a note that her cardiac rhythm on arrival is sinus tachycardia.
Correct.
What is sinus tachycardia?
A fast heart rate.
Fast heart rate.
Huh?
So when you arrived, she had a fast heart rate.
In the ER, that's where it says ROSC in the ER and the ED. They got ROSC back when we got there.
Okay, in the emergency department.
Correct.
Right. But at arrival, she had a fast heart rate.
No, that's not correct.
Well, it says cardiac rhythm on arrival at destination.
Correct. When we got her to the ER and got her over, that's when she had the sinus tach.
At the emergency department.
Correct.
So where is it that is the arrival on this?
Can you say that again?
Arrival
Is
where?
it PEA, the arrival event?
PEA is what she was in the whole time that we were with her.
And that's like no heart rate?
Correct.
Huh?
So time
No.
is when they.
No, right, friend. No.
Yes, after our care was transferred over already.
That's after she's being administered Epi and Narcan and whatever else.
Correct. None of that worked.
So let me ask, is it possible that her heart rate, like we sort of mentioned, her heart rate breathing condition could have changed in a minute?
It's hard telling. It's possible.
It's possible.
Don't know for sure.
So she could have been breathing, could have had a heart rate at 9:45,
Yeah, I can't tell you what it was before we got there.
but it is possible.
It's possible.
Especially, well, we haven't really talked about any of this toxicology stuff yet, but in your experience with a drug overdose, can drug overdoses happen quickly?
Yep.
I noticed you gave her Narcan.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you give her Narcan?
In case it was an overdose.
Were there signs and symptoms that made you believe it might be a drug overdose?
I mean, any overdose could possibly cause cardiac arrest, but it's just protocol. Any cardiac arrest, we give Narcan regardless.
Is that just protocol nowadays?
Yep.
In your substantial experience dealing with medical emergencies, serious medical events, do the people who are present for serious medical emergencies, serious medical events, always react the same
No.
to those events? No. Can you explain that a little bit?
I mean, it is what it is. Everybody acts differently.
Is it fair to say that being present for a really serious medical emergency is a traumatic event?
Yes.
So is it fair to say that sometimes people react differently to traumatic events?
Yes.
Sometimes people are calm, cool, and collected. They're always right on doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Is that sometimes you see that?
I've never seen that.
Sometimes people are screaming and crying and shouting.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are, I don't even know what other options there are, but there's lots of ways that people react. Is that right?
Correct.
Can you always predict how someone's going to react?
No.
I know that you
You've never
testified
seen anybody?
about Mr. Taylor being anxious, panicky, and there were some questions about contrasting his reaction to the woman's reaction you showed him.
Correct.
Are you able to say, well, I know why that they reacted differently?
No.
Because you've been around a lot of different medical events, right?
Correct.
And in your experience, sometimes people react differently.
Correct.
Now, I know there's some discussion about, use the words it wasn't a safe,
Never seen nobody.
safe environment. That's like a technical term, right?
Correct.
And I don't know if you have codes or whatever the thing is, but you probably have a procedure. If you can't do your work in a space, you have to remove them. Is that
Correct.
right? And that's what happened here.
Correct.
And you said Mr. Taylor was sort of getting in your way a little bit.
Yes.
That's kind of my lay term way of describing it. If I was understanding what you were describing,
Explain it,
was he
please.
trying to like lift her off the bed? Is that what was going on?
Yes.
And that wasn't what he was supposed to be doing.
No.
Right? Were you asking him not to do that?
Yes.
And he was, is it fair to say he was upset?
She seemed anxious.
Anxious. Okay. He was having a reaction to the situation. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Yes.
Putting exact words to describe it may be tough because we're all going to have different ways of wanting to frame that, right?
Right.
He was having a reaction to it.
Right.
And so, was it your impression? Please tell me this is not a great question to ask, but was it your impression that his sort of getting in the middle of you guys trying to work was somehow related to his reaction to the situation?
Can you repeat that again?
Right.
Why?
That's a tricky
Yeah.
question. Okay, I'm gonna do my best. Do you think, just by what you saw, what you experienced, you kind of being there in the moment,
Mhm.
that his getting in the middle, trying to lift her off the bed, not listening to you, the things that you've described, did it seem to you that that was related to his reaction to the situation?
Possibly. Could be. I don't know for sure.
That's fair. I appreciate that. And similarly, you kind of noted this other woman showed up a little bit later, and she had her own kind of reaction to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Correct.
And it was different.
Correct.
And we've been trying to put some kind of words to it, but there were different reactions.
Yes.
Right? I gotta just- So if I could just ask, if Mr. Taylor was getting so far in your way that you couldn't do your job, couldn't do what you needed to do inside the apartment, that wasn't in your report, was it?
No, I don't believe so.
Why wasn't it in your report?
It's easy to forget things like that in a report. There's a lot to try to remember to put in there.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Ms. Rose, you did put in your report that he was not listening to you.
Did I? I don't have my report anymore.
You said, and would not listen to you.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. And acting hysterical, yes.
And we talked a lot about the CAD. The info from the CAD report comes from the 911 operator, so the 911 audio would be the basis for that CAD report. Is that fair?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Mr. Brand also talked to you about, is it possible she hadn't been breathing for just a few minutes? Is it also possible she could have not been breathing for 20 minutes?
Correct, it is possible.
He also noted about the timing that CPR didn't start until 9:57, 7 minutes later. And that's because Mr. Taylor was not listening to you and you could not try to save her life in the apartment. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you know the allegations in this case that he is alleged to have poisoned Miss Benning and her unborn baby.
Correct.
Did he act like he was concerned for the health of Miss Benning and her baby, or did he act like he was in trouble?
More like he was in trouble.
Okay, could you describe that for the jury?
Yes, he was just very anxious. Like again, he was not listening to any direction that we were trying to give him. He just acted very frantic, just constantly just having his hands like this and just pacing and trying to get in our way, and just like I said, just very anxious.
Okay, could you demonstrate that one more time? I'm not sure the entire jury saw what you were.
Yeah, he just had his hands like this and like pacing and just like freaking out.
God forbid.
And when you rolled Miss Benning over, well, I guess, let me ask it this way. At what point was Mr. Taylor trying to touch Miss Benning?
It was immediately. The second we rolled her over, he tried to get his hands on her and try to control what we were doing.
Look what he saw. He's trying to figure out if he got a baby mama, want a baby mama, want the baby, want to be concerned, but can't even give you a
That's correct,
medical
yes.
history because he don't know her. And he's
Yes, it
seeing
was.
this.
And Miss Benning was limp.
Yes, correct.
Those are all my redirect questions.
There is a personal beef. I'm trying to, it's so weird that both EMTs have the same.
Is he removing your hands from your body?
Every time we tried to touch her, he would grab exactly where we were trying to grab.
Okay, was he removing your hands from her body?
He never physically touched me, no.
He never physically touched you. He was not removing your hands from her body?
No.
Was he pushing you away?
No.
Was he getting in front of you to keep you from touching her?
Yes.
Standing between you and Miss Benning?
Yes, he was trying to touch her while I was trying to assess her.
Was he standing physically between you and Miss Benning?
Next to her, yes.
Was he standing physically between you and Miss Benning?
No.
No, thank you. Were you able to lift Miss Benning off the bed?
We tried to, and we had to wait for our firefighters to get there.
Okay, so you and your partner, Ms. Baldwin,
Mhm.
is it correct, you were not physically able to lift her off the bed?
Correct.
Did Mr. Taylor lift her off the bed?
Yes,
I know he wasn't supposed to, but did he?
he did.
Okay. So when you say he was putting his hands out there, like, as if he was trying to be helpful?
No,
Misguided, but as if he was trying to be helpful?
no.
So he's like moving your hands off?
I told you he did not physically touch me.
Okay, but he's getting his hands in the way, but he's not
Yes.
shooting your hands off, is he?
Yes, we told him not to do that so we could do our assessment, and he did not listen. He kept touching her.
But he's touching her, he's not shooing your hands off, right?
Correct, that's what I said.
Okay, so he's touching her, which he's not supposed to. So let me ask this question, because you've sort of testified that he has, his anxiety is a guilty person's anxiety as opposed to a worried person's anxiety. And I want to explore where you are drawing that opinion from. So a worried person who's not listening, how would a worried person who's not listening be behaving in that situation?
Again, it's hard to tell. She asked me my opinion, so I told her my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the basis of that opinion. So
Go ahead, get the
he's
opinion.
touching her, he's not listening. If he was a worried person not listening, how would that be different?
I feel like if he was worried, he would have let us do our job to try to save her.
Okay, but you said people react.
But you was having a pissing match where if he touch her, you ain't gonna touch her.
To a worried person.
You was trying to prove a
reacting
fucking
trauma
point.
and getting in the way and just not listening, how would that be different from someone that you're testifying is kind of nefariously doing it?
Can you repeat that?
Okay.
Yeah, listen real good.
And not listening to you, how would that be different?
I just feel like if anybody was trying to be wanted the best for the patient, they would let medical professionals do what they need to do.
That is ideal. I do understand that that would be the ideal situation. But, and you and I discussed this a little bit earlier, not everybody reacts to trauma in the same way, isn't that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Sometimes people are hysterical, sometimes people are screaming and crying, all sorts of different ways, right?
Correct.
Do sometimes people not listen to you when they're reacting to trauma?
I've never personally experienced that, but maybe it's possible.
In all your years, you've never had someone not listen to you?
Not when it comes to family members and bystanders, no.
Okay. So,
You was a damn
I
lie.
guess tell me, he didn't stop you from doing your work, did he?
In the house, yes, that's why we had to take her out.
Well, hang on a second. He didn't tell you, no, you can't do your work here, right?
Correct.
Do you have any reason to believe that Mr. Taylor has medical training?
I have no idea.
Do you have any reason to believe that Mr. Taylor has knowledge or experience with paramedic or National Fire Department protocols?
I have no idea.
Do you have any reason to believe that Mr. Taylor would know or should have known that if he tries to help, you can't do your work?
I have no idea.
So
If
when
the
you
EMT
say
is not
he was
neutral,
trying to
I'm
stop
scared
you
for
from
all
doing
of this.
work,
What the hell?
why would he have any?
Did y'all go to Meharry
Is
too?
this
Like,
guy
what is
that
going
just
on?
would stop you from doing your work?
I'm not sure.
So then help me understand when you were saying his anxiety is like this, and that kind of looked like seemed like he was caught or he was guilty, whatever the words that you used, I can't remember what they were. How does this to you, or whatever his facial expressions were, seem like he was somehow conveying guilt or something?
I just said he looked anxious.
Anxious, right, but when you were on redirect examination,
He
you
looked
had
like
a
he
different
was in
description.
trouble. Quit saying
It's not
guilty.
just anxious. Like you thought he had gotten caught or something else, what were the words you used?
Trouble.
I
Like,
don't recall.
trouble.
She was asking me, and I agreed. I mean, someone who walks around like this looks anxious, and to me, I don't know.
Okay.
That's not a sign of
Can't that
distress.
anxiety just be like,
Oh,
oh my
what the
God,
fuck is
person I
happening
just
here?
was just passed out and is now being taken away by EMS and an ambulance,
Could be.
okay? Doesn't
Could be.
necessarily mean that you did anything, does it?
This
Can't
is
tell.
crazy.
So your impression is that it meant something bad,
All I said is that he looked anxious and hysterical.
okay? And you have no idea, you've never met Mr. Taylor before, right?
Nope.
You've never seen him respond to an emergency?
Nope.
You've never seen him respond to a medical situation?
Nope,
So you don't know how he reacts to a medical emergency.
that's correct.
You don't know if that is his perfectly normal, natural reaction to a medical emergency.
That's correct.
And so you don't know if that is his absolutely 100% normal reaction to a medical emergency,
Not sure.
right? So the suggestion a minute ago that there was somehow something unnatural about that reaction, you don't have a basis for
I said he looks like it. Doesn't mean that's true. That's just a description of what he looked like.
that. Okay. But you don't really have a basis for that, do you?
No.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may we release this witness?
You would be released from something else.
At least there was a jury, if you'll step down, that's all the way to take a short break. And who will the next witness be?
Officer Jack Pfeiffer.
Okay. All right, we'll take a 15 minute.
All right, we've got a 15-minute recess, and y'all, I am confusion. I am confusion. Yeah, I think it's only what 3:41 there. Their Central Time. I am confusion. I'm trying to figure out what. So two things that stood out to me besides her attitude and her very clear recollection with the state, but can't recall shit with the defense. Outside of that, the fact that you can recall when you do nothing but respond to emergency situations, traumatizing situations all day, every day, that's your job. God bless you. But in a situation like that, where this one stands out, even if the first line of your report says OD, and apparently nobody said that, I need to understand the attachment. I need to understand where you're connected. Because the statement you made versus the report you gave does not make sense unless you're connected personally. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because she said anytime somebody loses a baby, so you have already attached yourself to the fact that this baby was unalived purposefully. This baby was not meant to go out in this fashion. You have been affected at the way this baby left this earth. And because you are affected by that, your report has nothing to do with the baby. It said nothing about anything except for the fact that he was only able to say that she was pregnant. You have no idea about these people's situation. At that time, you didn't even know he was the father of the child. So what about this baby would give you this type of attitude towards this situation unless you have later figured out that he is, 1, the child's father, 2, alleged to have taken this baby out, 3, that you have already decided that he did take this baby out, and 4, you have attached yourself to every situation surrounding the fact that he didn't want this baby, he didn't want to have it, he gave an ultimatum, he doesn't want to have one, he told her what to do, he was going to force her not to have it, if she got to go with the baby, then so be it. You have already attached yourself to every part of that hook, line, and sinker. But your report has nothing to do with the baby. The report has nothing to do with the baby besides the fact that she is pregnant. Could be shock. Could be they were getting to know each other. That to me is just a red flashing light and a warning sign. Don't be out here screwing and doing with somebody you don't know. Because if something happened to you, they can't say nothing but your name. I just seen something from Lucky's mom. I seen it, but I missed it. Hold on. I said something about I just got here or something like that. I missed it. Hey, Ms. J came in after lunch. Can you give me a quick recap what this case is about, please? Okay, so we have former Tennessee Titans professional scout Blaise Taylor. Blaise Taylor is being charged with the unaliving or poisoning of his sneaky link. They weren't together, very casual, nothing exclusive. She gets pregnant. They have a conversation. She said, go do you because I'm doing this. And he quit talking to her. At some point, he decides, hey, we might need to talk about this. There's allegedly some sit down in the park for about 5 hours. They decide that they're going to get to know each other. She decides to plan a date night. And at that date night, her best friend pops up with a dude that she may have known for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a extra friend, a friend of a friend. They pop up to grab a plate. They leave for about 2 hours, and apparently she calls this friend in distress. Best friend, according to the best friend, yelling, why'd you do this to me? I knew that drink tasted funny. I know you put something in this drink. You did this because you don't want this baby. You did this to this baby. What's in your hand? Show me your hand. What's in your pocket? You're scaring me. You did this to me. She's rushed to the hospital, but apparently best friend hears this, hears her in distress, hears her get to a whimper or moan and does not call 911. She calls the friend that went over to grab a plate too. He's on the phone. He just came up with the light bulb moment unveiling that he may have heard this person through the whimper say his name and ask for help, somebody she barely knew. And now he don't remember if she said anything or if it was just muffled. Both of them go to Meharry Medical College. Both of them say she was in distress. Both of them say she was not in the condition, slurring words or anything of that nature, just all of the things. And everybody went on with their life and nobody called 911. Blaise apparently called his father, and his father said call 911. He called 911 and said that he thinks she's having an allergic reaction. 911 shows up, and according to the first EMT, he said nothing. He was not helpful. He didn't give them anything. He barely gave a name, didn't say she was pregnant, was just in the way, made the scene unsafe. They weren't able to do anything. He carried her from the bed to the kitchen because they said something about not being able to carry her, but that was unsafe, and they don't ask third parties to help them with anything. They get her into the van. They do CPR there. They get her to the hospital, and she never had a pulse. We also heard from her stepmother. Stepmother can't recall shit, doesn't know times, doesn't know a timeline, keeps blaming everything on not knowing a timeline, but somehow she participated in a lot of conversations that she just knows she was there and mouths were moving, but she can't tell nobody what was said. At all. At the fuck all. She can't tell us what was said. Just that she was there and a conversation may have been happening. We did have a snafu with the OBGYN who confirms that she was at least pregnant. It was a healthy pregnancy and they expected her to carry to term. We did end up with a little skerfuffle there where the defense implied that the deceased participated in alcohol and Adderall until she felt like her body was shutting down. But that text message was actually sent to her and not sent by her. Now, the only part of that skerfuffle is that was absolutely incorrect on that particular text message. However, there are apparently more text messages where she was participating and partaking. They have claimed from openings that she would participate, she would partake, and so would her friends. All these Meharry Medical College students that are going to be taking care of people, leave people in distress, and partake. Something's missing. Something's missing. Then Mr. Man, who came to the house with said best friend for the first time, got up there and he lied about some shit too. He lied about some shit. He is about 4 months away from graduating from dental college. He's in going to be, I think his program is dental surgery. But even he was merged into this call where friend is in distress and He does nothing. He continues with his night, get dressed, goes out. Even after he was at this I mean, don't even give a shit enough, even though this person just fed him. Claims this person said, help me, and called his name, and he got dressed and went out. Something's missing. Something's not right. There's a very big piece of this puzzle that will apparently put somebody's job, career, potential career in jeopardy. I would like to know, I'm going to tell y'all what I'm looking out for right now. I'm looking out for those text messages. I'm looking for those text messages because the main text message I want to see is that damn ultimatum. I want to see the ultimatum. What was the ultimatum? Because for Keontae not to understand, know, or have any inkling of who Blaise actually is, he sure knew a lot. And his idea of Blaise was actually what the picture that was painted by said best friend. Same best friend that entered the house after it was a crime scene. Same best friend that went back to the house with other friends with gloves on, removing shit from the crime scene that the cops didn't find out about till 24 hours later. But if there was something placed in her drink, something done with her drink, why not stay back and get the drink? Why wouldn't Blaise get the drink? Why wouldn't Blaise stay behind? Why wouldn't Blaise say, let me lock up? Why wouldn't Blaise say, let me grab her purse? Yet Bestie went back, grabbed her purse because they had to blow out a candle that she thought was still burning at the house, possibly. Bestie had her phone the entire time, and there was activity on her phone at a time that she was comatose. It's just not adding up. The thing about that, Hannah, the thing about the drink, whether it was the sip or the whole drink, for a medical examiner to say they have never seen that concentration of the booger sugar in a person, nothing that high ever. Think about it. Keontae said they stayed there for a minute. They got their plates. They left. She had the drink. She had the juice in her cup while they were there, right? So she's got this drink. She's working on it. They then leave the house and drive 12 minutes back to his house, right? Okay. Then we add another 40 minutes to an hour. So about 52 to an hour and some change minutes, right? So over an hour, at least an hour and 10 minutes. We'll just put it at an hour and 10 minutes for them to go back to his house. I'm going to go out on pure speculation and say eat and partake. So they get to his 12 minutes to his house, 40 minutes to an hour to sit there, chill and eat. She leaves. He said it was probably another hour before he even received the call. So give or take 10 or 15 minutes, about 2 hours for that amount of booger sugar to kick in. And even after 2 hours, even if she sipped it, as much was in there, it would have took the whole drink. And 2 hours later, she's still able to call and argue and yell and keep yelling, even down to the whimper. Huh? Yes, Miss Kathy. Now, the other thing, Janae, that came from the defense only, that there was also Fenty in her system. And then I wrote it down. There was also what was in her system, what begins to metabolize, shows that it was metabolizing in her system. It was called coca-ethylene. It is a specific mixture of that and alcohol, booger sugar and alcohol. Cannot happen with one taken after the other or in reverse order. It has to go at the same damn time. So that only shows up in your system once your body starts to metabolize that combination. Doesn't happen if you have them one after another or 30 minutes after or together close in proximity. It has to be done together. Alcohol and the booger sugar together. So I don't know if they didn't sprinkled it in that juice like it was Splenda or what, but what? This feels like, I want to know what that ultimatum was. They're going to have to lay out all those text messages. All the text messages they say they have, I understand that it's going to be, I really think they have to be careful with it, because if they're not careful, if they're not careful, this is going to paint the deceased person in a very crazy light, and I don't feel like that's right either. But the defense ain't holding nothing back. They get ready. They said she was sending adult type text messages to 3 different men at the time. So they were never in a relationship. They were never going to be together. It just happened to be, this is the situation. A capsule, something. Desi, they said that's not possible. They said it's not even possible for that to be in your system if you did it 30 minutes apart. They said it's not possible. Well, Hannah, they did say the amount that was in her system, it would have been impossible to get that amount into her by injecting or inhaling. It would have had to have been ingested. And it would have been so noticeable. They said it would have been impossible for regular recreational use to inject or inhale. It would have been impossible to get that much in. But according to the defense, that amount was so astronomical that they wouldn't even trust the test that gave a number that high. So they're trying to figure that out. And with the defense questioning the integrity of the samples, that's the thing. Where was it at? Where was it at in that type of situation? Like, her, that baby. Now, according to the defense is saying that when Fran got that call, you put something in my drink. She asked, who are you talking to? You talking to me? So the defense is making it seem like she was calling the friend to accuse. And only one person was sneaking up in that house twice. Only one person went up in that house with some gloves on. Only one person went back to that house. Yeah, it just don't make sense. Like, how did you even get that in there? Why the popo? Oh, he about to testify. I'm about to say, what the hell? Police is in here. Is it Dominique? Now that I don't know. But it seemed like everybody either bit after Blaise, wanted Blaise, or something ain't right.
please tell us your name and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Jack Pfeiffer. First name is Jack. Last name is Pfeiffer.
And although it may be fairly obvious to us, could you tell us by whom are you employed?
I work for the Metro Nashville Police Department.
How long have you been with the Metro Nashville Police Department?
A little over 4 years.
And what are your current duties and assignments with the police department?
So I work on patrol in Midtown sector precinct. I am a field training officer and also a maritime officer as well.
And what is a field training officer in the FTO?
So I field training officer deals with training anybody new that's going from the academy and kind of bringing them through training in the actual field environment outside of the academy. My duties as a maritime officer is boat enforcement. So if you see us on the rivers and on the lakes inside Davidson County, we would be the people that are dealing with that issues of, putting on the influence, other steps of like disorderly issues on the lake.
And do you hold currently any particular rank with the police department?
No.
But as an FTO in maritime, do you train other officers now?
Correct.
Directing your attention to February of 2023, particularly the evening of the 25th into the early morning hours of February 26th, were you working for the police department?
Yes.
And what were your duties at that time?
I was a patrol officer at the time in the Midtown area that I can currently still work.
And just generally, what is the Midtown area?
So we have 9 precincts that divide Davidson County, and I work in Midtown, which is that precinct. It goes from essentially 40 to parts of 440 all the way down to the county line off 65.
I'm ready to call Sergeant Caroline Mason.
And, Knowlesville area.
We can figure this out.
Probably over 200 to 300,000 people.
Does it include the?
We need to figure this out.
Medical Center?
Correct, it does.
And back on, again, the evening of the 25th, morning of the 26th, were you dispatched to a call at Vanderbilt University Medical Center?
I was.
Do you remember approximately what time it was, the day or night?
Lord, y'all.
It was
Sleepy.
closer to like 11 o'clock at night.
And when you were dispatched there, did you have any real specifics about what you were going for?
The only specifics we were given is the call for service that we are given, which is, somebody calls us and gives us their description of what they want us to come out and deal with. We had gotten a call from Vandy about some poisoning that had occurred, a belief of poisoning at least.
You say we, the police department, received that, and that information was sent to you.
Correct.
And did you go to the Vanderbilt campus?
I did. I went to the Vanderbilt ER.
And were you familiar with that location?
Yes.
Were you given, before you arrived there, the names or descriptions of any individuals to look for?
Not, from my recollection, I don't remember exactly who, but the Vanderbilt Police Department had advised us of names of people to look for, and we had, and who to talk to.
So, fair to say, Vanderbilt was assisting, or at least helping to some extent, with names and other information.
Correct.
Did you ever talk to a doctor
No.
or a nurse?
No.
Now, when you arrived, were you in uniform?
Yes.
And as part of that uniform, did it back in February 2023 include a body worn camera?
It did.
Have that on today?
I do. It's a different model, but same concept. So our body-worn cameras take video 60 seconds prior to their activation, and then upon activation,
said
they
what?
also record audio. And they're meant to stay on for the duration of the call or to get the completion of the call.
And pardon me, can
You don't know if he did it or not, you going to jail.
turn it on and off?
Yes.
And are there places where you would turn it off?
Very, very specific instances, but very rarely do we ever turn them off.
Okay. And was the area at Vanderbilt Hospital where the ER, was that a place where you turned it off at any time?
No, we do not turn off our body on camera unless during my recording, of course, I went to the restroom. I turned it off when I went to the restroom.
Now, when you arrived there and were given some names, was one of the names that you were given Blaise Taylor?
Yes.
And did you come to see that individual in the area of the Vanderbilt emergency room?
Yes, I was directed by Vanderbilt PD towards the individual, Blaise Taylor.
To your knowledge, had you ever seen that person before, had any interaction with him?
No.
Was your interaction with the person you came to be directed to, Blaise Taylor, recorded on your body-worn camera?
He was.
And you see that person here in the courtroom today?
I do.
Did you describe where he's sitting, perhaps article or two of clothing?
He's wearing a blue suit over here to my right. He has a goatee.
This record reflects he has identified Mr. Taylor.
Okay.
Now, have you had an opportunity to review that body-worn camera video?
I have.
And have you had an opportunity to review a transcript of the conversation that you had with Mr. Taylor?
I did.
And Your Honor, with the court's permission, may I have the officer handed a copy of the transcript, which has been provided to counsel, but I have another copy. May I smash this left over?
Okay, sure.
Along with the USB. Those could be passed up. Officer Pfeiffer, you're being handed a manila envelope that contains a USB. And you just open that and just take a look at it. I believe it has an identifying tag on it, your name on it.
It does.
Or it should. Right? Now, the transcript that you've been handed, if you had an opportunity to review that in comparison with what is on the USB.
I have.
And is the transcript a fair and accurate transcription of the conversation that is on the body-worn camera?
Yes.
All right, this time I would move to introduce the USB exhibit and with a copy of the transcript as an exhibit for identification. I have made several copies.
Not wanting the transcript made an exhibit.
Well, at this point, after the jury hears it, it's just gonna, but now it's fine. Exhibit 1, well, 6 and 6A.
and B. Are you wanting to play that?
Yes, Your Honor, after another question or two, but I said, if I can
You
pass
get
out
those copies. This whole.
Hmm.
there should be enough for the jury and the court order and court and an extra one for the. Now, what I'm gonna ask Officer Pfeiffer, identified Mr. Taylor, saw him there. And was your body-worn camera running the entire time as you walked up?
Yes.
You will show the interaction, but what was your initial observation when you saw Mr. Taylor? What was he doing? What was his appearance and demeanor?
This is during COVID, so everyone's gonna have a mask or it's kind of the end of COVID, right? So he's on his phone and I'm being directed by Vanderbilt Police about where he kind of direction he went. And so I just see him on his phone kind of talking into the distance on the outside of the ER.
Was he the first individual you talked with when you arrived at Vanderbilt, other than the Vanderbilt police?
Yes.
Involved in the incident that you were there for? Did you later speak with an individual you learned to be Jade Jackson?
Yes.
Had you received any information whatsoever from her before you talked to Mr. Taylor?
No.
I would ask to publish the video and have the jury.
Okay, you can pass those copies out. Hold on, just.
Hold up. And while it's frozen there for a moment, Officer Five, can you tell us what is the area? Where are we looking at? What are we looking at here?
So this is I'm walking out of the entrance to the emergency room to like the lobby area. So this had been like, there's a valet area in the front of Vanderbilt ER. He's standing right next to that valet area.
And just for the sake of asking, the person in the yellow top, have any involvement with this?
No.
Somebody walking by?
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of foot traffic around Vanderbilt ER as you'd expect from a big hospital.
I'm just saying, this does have audio, so not ask anything while it's playing.
All right, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've been given a transcript that the officer says is fair and accurate. But if you find, from your listening to the audio, seeing on the visual, that there's something different between what you hear and what's related in the transcript, you have to rely on what you think was said. Okay?
We need
Mike. Okay.
Hey man, what's happening today? What's happening today? So, my girlfriend, she's obviously in work, so I know whatever. Yeah, I got that. So, I was, last night, we were together, late night, everyone. Where were you? There? Or at her place? At her place, okay. Where's that? It's a new bill. She just moved there. Do you know the address? No, I don't know the exact address. I just know, I know how to get there, because it's real easy to get there. And I know it's right by King's Market to Burger King. I know it's right there on the left. But it's a new bill. They're still not even finished with all the buildings there. I got you. But yeah, she's a common one of her. So what's happened today? So went up there, she's like, hey, got this thing planned for us, date night, 7 o'clock, show at 7 o'clock. She cooked dinner, she had this canvas for us to paint, and all that stuff. And then there, do all that, she made a lot of food, so one of her friends came by with her, I think boyfriend or friend or whatever. They picked up some food, stuck it out for maybe like 5 minutes tops, and then just us hanging out, and all that. She started not to feel well, it's kind of all the blood, she wasn't feeling very good, and I said she was like throwing up, kind of shaky, so then I called my dad, and I was like, hey, I don't know what to do, and he was like, call 911, immediately, I called 911, they kind of want me to do what to do, like, turn on the side, and like, look her mouth, like all that stuff. Has she been drinking it all the time or anything? Yeah, not alcohol. Anything like that, there's no alcohol. Were you guys arguing or anything like that? No. Arguing. Yeah, no, I understand. stop emotions, how to react. So they were asking me a lot of medical questions, I don't really know. They were asking me to check out the pain, just to look to stop. Anything else I can remember? Besides that, just spell, hearing, whatever. He's still in 1903 actually now. Yes, sir. It's not like violence or anything like that, threat violence, stuff like that. Oh, no. It's just all medical kind of thing. Yeah. Like, we just had some type of, yeah, absolutely.
What vibe did they get from him? I mean, don't get me wrong. Crazy people can act sane, but I just really feel like he's giving information for somebody he does not know. I think any reaction that he had was coupled with, do I want this baby? Oh my God, something could be wrong with this baby. But if another thing and another motherfucking thing, hold the fuck up.
Correct.
There's another one, State. And Miss Ma'am right there, she didn't have her skerfuffle today too with the truth. But that's another one, State. Y'all said he never told these people, never told anybody she was pregnant. That's a lie. The EMT that had the bad attitude said that all he could say was she was pregnant, but couldn't tell them how far along. Okay? Second skerfuffle with the damn truth. He never said that it was his girlfriend. Ain't that how he just said? My girlfriend set up this date night. They don't know each other. They don't know each other. They just sneaky leaking, crunching and hunching, screwing and doing. And then messed around and made a baby. Anybody on an app called Hinge might be a little unhinged. How much of a reaction can you have besides actually seeing the trauma? But how can you connect with the trauma if you don't know the person? Crunching and hunching. It was trying to make me sound like I'm unhinged on Hinge. Listen.
23, it was 43, around that time, so it'll be 11 p.m.
Now, did you ask or ever find out who Mr. Taylor was talking to on the cell phone?
No.
When you were interviewing him, trying to interview him?
I never asked.
Now, after you spoke with Mr. Taylor, did you provide the substance of that to any other officer there? The substance of what he had said?
Yes, later I advised other officers about what he had told me, but I advised Officer Fish, and but I don't know at which point who I talked to exactly.
Now, with respect to, did you see the individual that was identified to you as being Chad Jackson?
Yes, I was told of another individual who had wanted to talk to us about this incident.
Right. Now, I'm not going to get into what she may have told you, but where was she when you first saw her?
She was also outside in that same area, just a little bit farther off, closer to the street.
Jury's obviously seen the video of Mr. Taylor, but what was Ms. Jackson's demeanor or appearance when you initially saw her?
She seemed very
what y'all saying is I'm gonna have to do these recaps today and not in the morning.
Was she by herself at that time? You spoke with him,
Yes.
and the information that she relayed to you was that then also passed along to other officers.
Correct.
Do you recall there being Officer Kalinsky? Was he there?
Yes, he was.
And Sergeant Smith?
Yes.
Did you ever communicate with Sergeant Smith that night about anything that you had observed or had recorded?
No. I relayed all my information to the primary officer on the screen on the scene, who then relayed it to the detectives.
Okay. And is that how procedurally things are supposed to work?
Yes. There's always someone who's in charge of the scene, and everything gets funneled up to them so that there's no misunderstanding about what's happening.
How long were you there?
Math ain't math. I'm gonna tell you what ain't math for me. I'm gonna tell you what ain't math for me at this point. And I'm gonna wait to see what she has to say and what's on that body cam footage, but I'm gonna tell you where the math is just not mathing. Okay. And not even in a sense that I can understand. And when I say sense that I can understand, I mean, like, we all know that 1 + 1 = 2, but we do know that there's a world where 1 + 1 could equal 3. Like when me and my husband be 1 + 1 and then we had a baby. Okay. So that's a 1 + 1 = 3 that I can get behind. I can understand how that could happen. Okay. Now, where I'm having the problem is if you know you just did something, you know you just tried to take somebody out, whether you tried to make her self-delete this baby, or you were actually trying to delete her too, or you only meant to delete the baby and shit went terribly wrong. When somebody could start to narrate the actual situation of you deleting one or more people, meaning the very thing that she was saying to you, you find out, oh my God, somebody was on the phone while she said, I knew my drink tastes funny. You did something to me. You did this. You just didn't want this baby. You wanted to do something to this baby. If you had somebody saying these things that you know were just said to you by the only person you thought could tell on you, baby, you wouldn't hang around that hospital. You wouldn't wait for an officer to come find you. You wouldn't wait. If somebody could repeat those very things to you verbatim, you would not stick around to figure this out. You would have called your well-to-do ass parents and got the hell up out of Dodge. You would have, if somebody could repeat that to you, if you were sitting in there in the room with what was getting ready to be the actual crime scene evidence body of what you just did, and you're watching it wither away, watching it on all these tubes on life support, and the person that's sitting across from you in this situation is yelling everything that was the last words of this person, you gonna run. You ain't gonna sit there and try to see if she bluffing. You know she heard it.
Were you assigned to do any follow-up investigation or duties and responsibilities about this matter?
No, that would be outside the scope of patrol.
So it'd be fair to say this is the extent of your dealings with Mr. Taylor.
Correct.
Did you see him any more at the hospital after your interview with him?
Yes, he was sitting in the waiting room.
And what, if anything, was he doing at that time?
He was on his phone.
Was there anyone with him in that particular area of the waiting room?
I don't recall exactly if there was anybody saying that would have been associated with him.
Those are my questions.
All right.
Good afternoon, officer. So you were not the primary investigating officer, right?
That is correct.
Is that basically assigned based on kind of who gets there first?
No, normally the primary investigating officer will be the individual that we, like I said, we have precincts, but we divide precincts up into different areas. So there's a zone officer, and that zone officer normally, if they respond to that scene, are going to be the primary officer for the investigation.
So was that Officer Fish on this one?
Correct.
Was she at the scene before you?
We responded, and I think we arrived pretty close in time.
But just based on sort of internal police structures that maybe are above my knowledge level, she was assigned as the primary investigating officer at night.
Correct.
So then does your role kind of become assist where needed, kind of take stock of everything that's going on and interview people and collect information?
Correct.
And that's generally what you did in this case, right?
What I did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know about how long you were there that night?
However long my body or cameras, I think it's a couple hours.
Okay. Do you know about how long you had been there when you interviewed Mr. Taylor at 11:43 p.m.?
I know it had been shortly after I responded because we kind of started doing our job right away.
Okay. So that's one of the first conversations you have when you got to the scene. Is that fair?
Correct.
Did you and Officer Fish kind of divide conversations, or was it just whoever you guys run into is who you talk to?
I think it's more on the aspect of she went to go talk to medical staff because this is a big hospital, and we didn't really have any information about the victim. So I was going to collect information from anybody that had been around the area.
So the fact that you guys were called to the scene, there was some concern whether it was Vanderbilt or any of that. This was something that needed to be investigated. Is that fair?
The call, yeah, someone was worried that something was wrong, yes.
Okay. But at this point, there's no homicide detectives involved. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you haven't talked to Jade Jackson yet, correct?
Correct.
When you talked to Mr. Taylor, do you know how long he had been at the hospital?
I did not know at the time, no.
When you indicated that sometime later you still saw him sitting in a chair on the phone, do you know how much later that was after this body cam conversation with him?
Of him sitting in the waiting room?
Yes.
He'd been kind of in and out of the waiting room the entire time. So, I mean.
So let's try, I'm trying to kind of get maybe some rough timeline here. So you get there, let's say 11:30 or so, does that seem fair?
Yeah, around there maybe.
Okay. You interview him about 11:43, right?
Correct.
Your body cam is at least 2 hours, maybe between 2 and 3 hours, does that seem fair?
Correct.
Do you think that you saw Mr. Taylor still sitting in the waiting room at least 2 or 3 hours later?
Correct. He was there, I think, from my knowledge, I recall him still being there like an hour plus after we had talked to him.
To your knowledge and your recollection, was he there the entire time that you were at the hospital?
From my recollection, he was there at least the majority of the time at the hospital. I don't know if he ever left in between.
So you don't have any specific recollection of him leaving during the time that you're at the hospital?
Correct.
And during that conversation that you had with him, obviously we watched it, right? Right. That's the only conversation you had with him, right?
In depth, correct.
Maybe there's something brief in passing.
Yes, I may have missed some information. How to make sure I had some like demographic information if I missed anything.
And other than him kind of being on the phone and quickly picking up another phone call, he answers your questions, right?
He does.
He provides you some information about what happened that night, right?
He does.
And it's at this time, it's not your responsibility to do like a full like interrogation of anybody, is it?
No, we do like preliminary statements about what's happening and kind of figure out what the general idea of the scene is.
Yeah, just kind of getting the lay of the land, right?
Correct.
Figuring out who the players are, right?
Correct.
Kind of knowing what everybody's saying happened, right?
Correct.
Just very brief, right? It's intended to be brief, is that correct?
I mean, unless more information is coming up from previous stuff, we may ask more specific questions, but normally there's a follow-up and, we'll follow up if there's more questions to be had at the time. But sometimes we leave that for detectives because they are the ones that have the ability and means to follow up at a larger extent.
Okay, that's fair. But this interview with Mr. Taylor, this was just the initial interview, right?
Correct.
You hadn't gotten any kind of follow-up interview or questioning, right?
Correct.
So it's kind of almost intentionally brief. Is that fair?
I wouldn't say that I'm intentionally making it a brief conversation. I would say that I make it as long as it needs to be.
Okay. But I guess maybe what I'm just trying to understand, just maybe for myself and for the jury, is it wasn't unusually brief. Is that fair?
I mean, he gave me the information that he had at the time. There wasn't really much specifics to what he gave them.
During that conversation, he does note at one time that it's kind of a blur. Is that right?
He does say that.
He does refer to Ms. Benning as his girlfriend, right?
Correct.
He does indicate that during the 911 call, they asked if it might be allergic reaction. Is that right?
Correct.
There wasn't any point in that time questioning that he refused to answer any of your questions. Is that right?
No.
At some point in time during your time at the hospital, did you interact with a social worker?
I don't recall if I ever interacted with a social worker.
You don't remember a social worker being involved in the hospital situation?
I remember there being a social worker involved. I don't recall if I had interaction with them.
Well, you remember that this was a situation where whether the hospital asked or on their own accord, there was a social worker involved.
Correct.
Are you familiar with other situations where social workers are involved
Correct, yeah.
at the hospital?
Mhm.
So you've been an officer for 4 years now?
A little over 4, yeah.
It sounds like you have sort of a variety of things that you're involved with in the police department.
Yes.
And it's fair to say you've responded to, at this point in your career, a pretty large number of calls.
At the point I am at now, or the point that I was at?
Now,
Yes.
some calls involve medical emergencies.
Yes.
Some calls involve various allegations of criminal conduct.
Yes.
Some calls involve injuries or death. Is that right?
Yep.
So you responded to a kind of wide variety of situations where the police might be involved.
Yes.
In your experience, do all people in those situations, friends, family, whoever, witnesses, do they all react to situations that you're responding to in the same kind of way?
No.
And obviously, I'm not asking you to describe all the different reactions, but can you often predict how a friend or family or loved one or even a witness is going to react to the situation where police is involved?
No, I can't predict how someone's going to react to a situation.
Is that particularly true where someone is critically injured or even killed?
Yes, but a lot of times people will be pretty direct with you if they want to talk to you.
But I guess what I'm sort of asking is, when someone's injured or killed, is it fair to describe that as traumatic?
Yes.
And in your experience, do people respond to that or react to that trauma in different ways?
Yes.
And you've had an opportunity to sort of observe like a wide variety of those reactions, right?
I have.
And you've never interacted with Mr. Taylor before, right?
Correct.
You don't know, especially at that time, you didn't know anything about his background, right?
No, I did not.
You didn't know anything about what experience he has with trauma or traumatic situations?
I did not.
So your job in this case was really just collecting information, right?
Correct.
You weren't reaching any conclusions or anything like that, right?
No, that would be up to the detective.
Just one second. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
You need to read your breath.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who's the next one?
Aaron Kalinsky.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Lord, I know. I haven't gotten another PO box. That was goofy.
Sir, could you please tell us your name and spell your first and last name for us?
I'm Officer Jared Kalinsky. First name's Jerrod. Last name Kalinsky, Kalinsky.
And for whom are you an officer?
I'm an officer for the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department.
How long have you been so employed?
I've been employed since August of 2020.
What are your current duties with the police department?
I'm currently a field training officer, still working in the patrol capacity.
And of the 9 or so precincts, are you assigned any particular one?
Yes, I work at the Midtown Hills Police Precinct.
And where is that area, just generally?
I'd say it goes from about the Edgehill area all the way down to the county line with Williamson County.
Back in February of 2023, you were also Metropolitan Nashville police officer.
Yes, sir.
What were your duties and responsibilities back then?
It was very similar. I was still working in patrol capacity. I was not a field training officer at the time.
And what precinct then were you assigned?
Yeah, I was still assigned to the Midtown Hills Police Precinct.
And with the Midtown Hills precinct, the late evening of February the 25th and on into the early morning hours of the 26th of 2023, were you dispatched to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center Emergency Department?
Yes, I was.
Do you recall approximately when you received the call to go there?
I recall it was later in the evening. It was kind of close to the beginning of my shift, closer to 10 or 11 p.m. is when we responded to the hospital.
When you say we, did you have a partner that night?
Me, myself, Officer Pfeiffer, and Officer Fish.
And did the three of you go together? Who arrived first, if you recall?
I don't recall exactly who arrived first. I was one of the last officers to arrive on scene, and I met with Officer Pfeiffer.
Now, without going into detail, what was the nature of the call?
All I remember from the nature of the call was we were responding to a possible drugging that was being reported at the hospital.
When you arrived at the hospital, were you given additional information with respect to people to speak with?
I spoke first with a representative of the Vanderbilt Police Department who was asking what I was responding to, and then I spoke with a friend of Miss Benning.
would that have been the person you later identified as being Jade Jackson?
That's correct, yes.
Not Jade. Where was Ms. Jackson when you first encountered her?
We were outside of the emergency room, kind of close to ambulance bay.
Now, how were you directed to her, or did you call out her name? Just how did it come about that you were?
She, after speaking with the Vanderbilt officer, she was kind of approaching us as to speak with us about the matter.
Do you recall anything about that initial first impression of her appearance, demeanor?
She seemed rather upset about kind of what transpired during the events that have happened that night.
Asked Officer Pfeiffer about the body worn camera, but as a patrol officer, you also have body worn camera.
Yes, sir.
And is that activated when you're at a scene?
Yes.
And does it record?
Yes, it does.
Interactions. And was your interaction with Ms. Jackson recorded on your body worn camera
It was.
and preserved and available?
Yes, it was.
Now, after speaking with Ms. Jackson, did you relay the information you received from her to any one of the other officers?
I don't recall if I did. If I did, I would have related to Officer Fish.
Okay. And Officer Fish essentially the
Yes, she was the primary officer
Primary officer.
compiling the report for us.
At that initial time that the three of you arrived, were there any Metropolitan Nashville Police Department detectives at the hospital, to your knowledge?
At the time of our response, I don't recall one being there.
Did one or more later arrive while you were still at the hospital?
I don't recall if I was still present at the hospital when a detective arrived. I do know that one did respond.
And the reason I ask that is, did you ever speak with a detective to relay the information directly to a Metro Police Department detective at the hospital?
I don't believe I did.
Okay. So Officer Fish was gathering the information.
That's correct.
After you spoke with Ms. Jackson, did you later encounter an individual you learned to be Mr. Blaise Taylor?
I did.
And approximately how long after your speaking with Ms. Jackson did that occur?
So it'd be about 5 or so minutes, give or take a little bit of time.
You told us about Ms. Jackson approaching you and you're in conversation. Had you seen the person you learned to be Blaise Taylor there before seeing Ms. Jackson? I'm just saying visually.
Visually, I did not.
And after this time, described talking with Ms. Jackson, where was Mr. Taylor when you first encountered him?
Mr. Taylor was still sitting in the waiting room, in the emergency room.
Okay. And were you directed to him?
Yes.
Someone pointed him out and said, that's
Yes.
Blaise Taylor, or words to that effect, right?
Correct.
And did you then speak with Mr. Taylor?
I did.
And was that recorded on your body-worn camera?
Yes, that was also audio and visually recorded.
And have you had the opportunity to review that?
I have.
And have you also had the opportunity to review a transcript of the conversation?
I have.
And I wonder if I could ask that this council's be passed. Officer Galinsky, you're being handed 2 items, one of which is a manila envelope. If you would open that, see if that contains a USB. Is
It does.
And the transcript that you've been handed, have you had an opportunity to review that? And is that a fair and accurate transcription of what is on the USB recording?
It is.
Your Honor, I would tender those as next collected exhibit and ask that it be published. And I have, again, made hopefully enough copies for everyone in council that already gets there. Now, may the transcripts be passed to jury?
Sure, yeah, that's.
And Your Honor, with course permission, I publish this, but
Okay.
before General Norman hits the, I know Your Honor has something probably to say to the jury about the transcript.
Yeah, it's the same instruction, and then we get, if you find something different from the transcript and what you hear, that rely on what you yourself hear.
Officer Klinsky, while the screen is still frozen, who are we seeing in this screenshot?
I believe in this screenshot, I see Officer Pfeiffer and Mr. Blaise Taylor.
Okay, now, could you identify what he's wearing, who Mr. Taylor is in this?
In the screenshot, he's wearing a blue mask around his face with a gray hoodie and white shoes.
And the individual sitting in the chair next to the wall, do you know who that is or was, and whether they had anything to do with this case?
As far as I have no idea who that individual is.
Okay, did you have any interaction with that individual?
No, sir.
Okay. And the date and time, military time, what is that?
It says February 26, 2023. Looks like it's just after midnight.
Would be 12:01 and 51 seconds a.m.
Yes.
And Your Honor, if we could play that.
Okay.
You Blaise? Sure. We'll talk over there. Just curious, I haven't got to talk to you yet. What happened? So she texted me today, went through the day night. She didn't tell me exactly what I was going to do. So, okay, so I'm at 7, I got some boys. Cooked dinner, we ate, date night. Friend came over to pick up, she made a bunch of food, so friend came over to pick up some of the food we left. Anyway, so we had date night, started feeling sick, and then. Just after you got to ate? Yeah, so this was probably a little bit afterwards, I guess. I don't know what the time was, so we were hanging out, whatever. And then, she started feeling sick. I called my dad, I was like, hey, she's really sick. I'm not sure what to do. And then he told me to call 911. I called 911. And then literally talked to the EMS people or the paramedics, whoever's on 911. I talked to them and they were like, hey, do this, turn outside, all this stuff. And then I had to cut out just because I didn't really know the apartment complex. It was a new apartment. So I ran outside, saw like the name, told them the name to get the address that I had addressed with them. So that's really what happened. And all the evidence back and all that kind of stuff. It was just like, really, this kind of just all the like blurred.
Yeah, did she say anything to you while she was passing out?
Or? She was just really, it was just all blurred. She was just saying like she didn't feel good and stuff. And I was just trying to help her, and then I panicked and I didn't know what was going on, so I just called my pops and I was like that. And then he was was like, hang up with me, call 911, and that's what I did. So she was just like really kind of hectic and kind of blurred. I guess gentleman's company and stuff. So it's just.
And stuff between you two, nothing rocky or anything like that.
Things have been good. I mean, I've seen her the last, I think 3 days in a row. I just got back in town, and so I saw her. Yeah, because what's that, Saturday? So yeah, I saw her. I was definitely the last 3 days. The last 3 days in a row, we hung out. So we had a date night tonight. Yesterday, we had Waffle House for lunch days or whatever, and then I saw her Thursday as well.
Gotcha. She don't have any medical conditions, you know of?
Not that I know of. I mean, she's pregnant, but outside of that, like, nothing that I know of. People, when I call 911, they kind of ask me that too. If she had like any allergies or anything around, I didn't know, so I kind of like scrambled to try to look for anyone, but I couldn't really find.
I got you. Okay. Well, that's appreciated. Yeah, you could sit down.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you can pass those documents back this way. Okay.
Mr. Kalinsky, when you spoke with Mr. Taylor, you had already received information from Ms. Jackson, correct?
Correct.
And we know from what we just watched, you did not relay any of her information to Mr. Taylor, did you?
I did not.
But did you have that in mind when you were listening to what he was telling you?
I did.
And based upon that, did you relay that information to Officer Fish?
I don't recall.
Down up the chain.
I don't recall exactly what I told her, but in the moment I probably would have.
Yes. For it to be, again, relayed on up to further investigation.
Yes.
With respect to Mr. Taylor, whose appearance and demeanor, the jury's seen with your interaction, how would that compare with Ms. Jackson and her interaction with you?
Say I wouldn't say exactly opposite, but they were very different.
In what way?
Miss Jackson was very kind of upset and distraught, and I remember making the remark that Mr. Taylor even seemed a little nervous or even not as like upset as Miss Jackson was.
Did you see Mr. Taylor any more now it's morning, but that morning at the hospital?
I don't believe I did.
Have any other interaction with him then?
I believe that was my only interaction with him.
They have a moment,
Okay.
those are my questions, all right?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I don't want to, but I probably am going to mispronounce your name. Is it Officer Kalinsky?
Yes, sir.
My name is Ed Jointer. I'm going to be asking you a few questions. If at any time you don't understand, just let me know and I'll try to rephrase.
Okay.
I want to just try to orientate myself in the jury. Do you know at the time you asked to speak to Mr. Taylor, if you spoke to him before your coworker did or after?
As far as my knowledge is, I'm one of the people that speaks to him after.
Okay. And did he interact with you voluntarily?
Yes.
Did you have the opportunity to watch the video, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice that he had like a a sticker on his side of his shirt. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Visitor pass?
Mhm.
And you spoke to Miss Nigella Jackson that night as well, didn't you?
I did.
And did you get a chance to review your body cam video of that?
Yes, sir.
And did she also have on a visitor sticker on her shirt?
If I recall, it did not appear she did.
Okay. Now, was she alone when you interviewed her?
Yes, it was just me and myself and Officer Pfeiffer.
Were there anybody that she would have known lingering around her as well?
I believe at the tail end, a couple of her friends did approach her at the end of our interview.
And both of those friends were females, correct?
Correct.
And you never encountered a gentleman by the name of Keontae Jones, did you?
I did not.
And when you approached Mr. Taylor, he did cooperate fully, did he not?
He did.
No further questions.
You can redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And one other witness that was here.
No, Your Honor, there was, but he left. He was gonna be a rather lengthy witness.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, we're going to recess for the day. Just remember about not discussing the case, forming any opinion, looking things up, going by any locations, all those admonitions that I gave you, looking at TV, reading anything. Those of you who are taking notes, you can leave those pads up here in the jury deliberation room. That room will be locked. No one will be looking at your notes. Tomorrow, if you'll report like you did this morning downstairs in the jury assembly room, 8:45, 8:50, we'll get you up here as a group and resume the trial. Thank you very much. You can step out of the court. All right, give the jury a few minutes to get on the floor and we'll be in a recess.
Folks in recess tonight.